Chapter 11:20. Fine. She'll endure it. She'll endure it. She owed him a favor and lost the bet to him. It was her fault. But for a girl like her, asking her to kiss a boy who wasn't her boyfriend, honestly, how could she do it? She was conflicted and struggling. Your sister already slept with me. What's wrong with kissing me? Lin Xian said. Xiao Xinyue was speechless. When she suddenly heard Lin Xian's words, she felt that it made sense. Her sister, who had always been excellent in her eyes, had already slept with Lin Xian. It didn't seem like a big deal for her to kiss him, right? Quick, quick, quick. If you don't kiss me, I'll let you kiss me. Lin Xian smiled and moved closer. Xiao Xinyue took a deep breath and slowly closed her eyes. Her long eyelashes trembled, proving that her heart wasn't calm. Then, she slowly moved closer to Lin Xian's cheek. Her lips were a little cold, but very soft. Ding! Tricking this big sister into kissing you. Prince Charming points plus 30,000. But at this moment, Han Chushue walked out of her room to take the towel she left on the balcony. She just happened to see this scene. Hearing the sound, Xiao Xinyue quickly pulled back and her face suddenly turned red. God! She was seen. Wow! Why was her life so tragic? What a coincidence! What should Han Chushue say after seeing this? She wasn't surprised at all because she always felt that Lin Xian had feelings for Xiao Xinyue. Xiao Xinyue was really beautiful, so she felt that it was normal. However, she still felt uncomfortable in her heart, but she was already used to it. She even felt that the relationship between many girls and Lin Xian wasn't simple. She even gradually stopped caring about it. Ahem, little Chushue. When Lin Xian saw Han Chushue, his old face also turned red and he coughed dryly. I came out to get a towel. Han Chushue said faintly and then walked to the balcony. Bastard! Xiao Xinyue gritted her teeth and looked at Lin Xian with shame and anger. Are you blaming me? Lin Xian shrugged. Xiao Xinyue gritted her teeth. How do you explain this? Xiao Xinyue asked. I don't want to explain. If I really want to explain, you'll be my girlfriend. Lin Xian smiled and quickly kissed Xiao Xinyue's cheek. Xiao Xinyue was speechless. Bang! She kicked Lin Xian's leg and walked away. She slammed the door and went into her room. After entering her room, she leaned against the door and placed her hands on her chest. Her heart was beating very fast. She didn't quite understand the feeling of being at a loss for what to do. This Lin Xian actually dared to force a kiss on her. Although it wasn't a kiss, but did he really like her? But why did she feel that he was so unreliable? No, why wasn't she angry? Xiao Xinyue was also shocked. Logically speaking, if someone treated her like this, she would even want to kill him. She and Lin Xian were friends, so she wouldn't kill him if Lin Xian treated her like this. But why wasn't she angry? Little Chushue, come and help me. Lin Xian smiled and waved at Han Chushue, who walked out. Han Chushue hesitated for a moment, but still walked over. She was a very cold person, but she was also very similar to Linya and Bing Lingyue. When she gave her heart and soul to someone, she could forgive and not care about many things. For example, just now when she and Lingying were together. Maybe it was because she already guessed this, or maybe it was because she was used to Lin Xian having more than one girlfriend, so she could accept it more. That. Don't say anything, I won't say anything. Han Chushue said softly. Wah. Lin Xian really wanted to cry. He felt that he was really AF * king beast. Scumbag, it really suited him. He was indeed a scumbag. The girl was so outstanding and beautiful, and she was so tolerant of him, but he F * king. I'm sorry, aren't all men like this? Han Chushue said. But you guys. How should I say? Han Chushue thought for a moment and said, I think it doesn't matter. Kiss. Lin Xian then smiled and moved his lips closer. Han Chushue's pretty face was red. Then she kissed Lin Xian's lips and ran away. Sigh. Lin Xian looked at her back and sighed. Really, what did he, Lin Xian, do to deserve this? Although he said that he was very handsome to the outside world, to be honest, he was really not handsome, just good-looking. However, it was precisely because of this that he won the hearts of so many outstanding girls, and they were still loyal to him, but he, on the other hand, kept seducing other girls. Lin Xian cooked a big meal for them, more than a dozen dishes, and it could be said that it took him 3 hours to cook. It smells good. Ling Ying rubbed her small hands and couldn't wait to pinch them, then her big eyes sparkled. Every girl was a foodie, just that the degree of foodie was different. Lin Xian's cooking had really captured the stomachs of many girls. Right now, Lan Xingxing, who was next door, was sitting on the sofa, hugging a pillow, watching TV, and hammering the pillow with all her might. Ah! I want to eat Lin Xian's delicious food. Lan Xingxing felt a little uncomfortable, and she wanted to roll on the ground and beg for delicious food. Wu Yuhan walked out and looked at her. I'm going out to buy some food. Do you need me to bring anything for you? Her tone was very cold, and it was obvious that the other sister personality, Wu Yuhan, had come out. Ah, no need, no need. Lan Xingxing pointed at the fridge and said, There's a lot of delicious food in there, I just want to eat Lin Xian's dishes. Then Lan Xingxing pouted and looked like she was about to cry. When Wu Yuhan heard the name Lin Xian, she frowned. Then go find Lin Xian to cook for you, Morongyu said indifferently as she walked out of the bathroom while drying her hair. No, I'm embarrassed. Lan Xingxing kicked her legs. Right at this moment, Lan Xingxing seemed to have discovered something, and her cute little nose sniffed. Delicious, it's the smell of delicious food. Lan Xingxing sniffed as she approached the balcony. This balcony was connected to Ling Ying's balcony, and she only needed to climb over. Lan Xingxing lay on the balcony. The two girls also followed. Delicious, it's the smell of delicious food. It's the smell of delicious food made by Lin Xian. Lan Xingxing said excitedly to them. Morongyu, she could even smell that? As expected of a top-notch foodie. Lin Xian might be with them, Morongyu muttered. Whoosh, then Lan Xingxing ran out. She was embarrassed to ask Lin Xian to cook for her, but she was embarrassed to ask for a free meal. Wahahaha. I'm going out. Wu Yuhan said to Morongyu indifferently and walked away. Knock, 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 knock. Lan Xingxing knocked on the door, and Xiao Xinyue opened it for her. Sister Xinyue, I'm here for a free meal. Lan Xingxing smiled sweetly. Then come in. Xiao Xinyue said, and Lan Xingxing skipped in. Wah, wah, wah. Lin Xian, you didn't call me when you were cooking. Lan Xingxing pouted and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Then Lan Xingxing ran to the dining table, picked up the chopsticks and took a bite. Ah, I feel good, I feel good. That's right, she felt good. Lin Xian. Chapter 11:21. Lin Xian purposely didn't call them over because there were already 3 girls here. If another 3 came over, he wouldn't be able to handle it. However, Lan Xingxing still came over. But, Xingxing, how did you know I was cooking here? Lin Xian asked. Lan Xingxing, who was eating the delicious food, mumbled, Oh, I smell it. Lin Xian. Then how did you know I was the one who made it? The smell. Lin Xian. Perhaps this was the little glutton's special ability? This was amazing. Lin Xian had already made a lot of food. Under normal circumstances, they wouldn't have been able to finish it. Luckily, this little glutton came over. Burp, after eating, Lan Xingxing burped in satisfaction. She leaned back on the chair and rubbed her little belly. So good, so good. Lan Xingxing was about to faint. Amazing. Ling Ying couldn't help but say, Ah, what's amazing? Lan Xingxing opened her eyes and asked in confusion. You're amazing. Oh. There were more than 10 dishes on the table. Originally, they thought that if they couldn't finish it today, they could eat for 2 days. However, this little girl came and finished half of it by herself. Hee, it's too delicious. Lan Xingxing stuck out her pink tongue cutely. So why didn't you invite Morongyu over to eat with us? Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian and asked. When Lan Xingxing first came, she wanted to invite Morong Yu over as well. However, Lin Xian refused. Big sister, look at the situation now. There's only one more girl. We don't have any leftovers. Do you want me to make a few more dishes if she comes? Lin Xian said helplessly. Ling Ying felt that it should be something else, something between a man and a woman. Of course, this was also Lin Xian's idea. He felt that if Morong Yu came, although he hadn't done anything to Morong Yu yet, it was inevitable that the girls would say something terrible. Lin Xian was afraid. That's right. After the number of women around him increased, he had a very bad subconscious. For some inexplicable reason, he didn't want some of the women to bump into each other. He panicked. Even though there was nothing between Lin Xian and Morong Yu, Lin Xian still had feelings for her. Lin Xian didn't want that, so Lin Xian was really upset. Moreover, girls were sensitive, so he had no other choice. That's true. Ling Ying felt that Lin Xian's words made sense. But that wasn't right. Morong Yu couldn't eat much. Moreover, if she came, Lan Xingxing wouldn't eat so much. She was so full that she didn't even want to move. Forget it, forget it. Let's not bother about it. Lin Xian, there doesn't seem to be anything going on these few days. Lan Xingxing then looked at Lin Xian and stuck out her pink tongue cutely. Lin Xian. He knew what this girl meant. If this girl said that there was nothing going on, then he would have time to cook for her. Okay. Lin Xian smiled helplessly. Yay. I'm happy. Lan Xingxing jumped 3 feet high. That day, the few of them didn't do much. They stayed at home and played cards. There were 5 of them and 2 decks of cards. Moreover, they were playing real money. Lin Xian lost terribly. Lin Xian really couldn't understand. Why was he so weak? He couldn't beat girls in games, and now he was the only one who lost in cards? He was the only one who lost. Even Xing Baobao won. At this moment, Lin Xian's phone rang. Lin Xian glanced at it. I'm not playing anymore. The 4 of you can continue. Lin Xian stood up. Why aren't you playing anymore? The girls looked at Lin Xian. I'm busy. I keep losing. I'm not playing anymore. Goodbye. Lin Xian walked out after he finished speaking. He must have gone to find a girl. Ling Ying said angrily. I just saw it. Lan Xingxing blinked her big eyes. Saw what? I saw it. It was a message from Sister Morong to Lin Xian. If Lin Xian knew about it, he would definitely find a chance to give this girl a good spanking. Wah! You were so obedient earlier. I even gave you good food. Now you're selling me out. I have to fight. Morong Yu? They were slightly stunned. How should they put it? Instead, they were relieved that Morong Yu had sent a message to Lin Xian. They knew this woman better. How could Lin Xian take advantage of her? No, but that might not be the case. A long, long time ago, they never thought that they would be together with Lin Xian. They never thought that they would be magnanimous enough to serve Lin Xian with another woman. So this Morong Yu, wah! Bastard! 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 Lin Xian really didn't do anything. Morong Yu was free tonight. She wanted Lin Xian to help her unlock the 6th level of 1,000 ice pupils. Lin Xian was naturally willing to go. After all, Lin Xian cared a lot about 1,000 ice pupils. Morong Yu was waiting for Lin Xian at her first peak. Normally, Lin Xian wouldn't have the right to go there. However, Morong Yu was open to Lin Xian and agreed to let him come. Lin Xian was also quite excited. What was the first peak like? Then, Lin Xian entered the first peak's teleportation array. Originally, Lin Xian and Morong Yu had agreed to wait until nightfall before heading over. However, Lin Xian had been playing at Ling Ying's place for quite a while now. It was already about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, so there was still 1 or 2 hours before nightfall. However, Lin Xian was truly in a bad mood after losing so much that he decided to head over directly. Whoosh! With a flash of light, Lin Xian arrived at the first peak. Hiss. The first thing Lin Xian did when he arrived was to suck in a breath of cold air. What the F***ck? Wasn't the spiritual power of heaven and earth too terrifying? Was this the first peak? How did it feel to have this spiritual power of heaven and earth? It felt like this was an air-conditioned room, while his room was a freezer. The difference was really that big. Then, Lin Xian gave the first peak a cursory glance. Other than the terrifying spiritual power of heaven and earth, the size of the first peak also crushed all the previous peaks. This peak's decorations, beauty, and quantity were also overwhelming. There were even towers that were 10 to 20 meters tall, surrounded by clouds and mist. It was like a paradise on earth. Lin Xian was secretly speechless. This was King extravagant. This place was really not bad. Then, Lin Xian frowned. This was because he actually felt a strong spiritual power fluctuation in front of him. What was going on? Lin Xian then walked over curiously. When Lin Xian walked over, he saw Morong Yu and a man sparring. These two people were unbelievably strong. Although they didn't use their full strength, Lin Xian could feel that there was a big gap between him and them. Lin Xian knew that man. It was Duan Lingxiao, the handsome man who was ranked second, the young master of the trial union. His status was the same as Morong Yu's. That wasn't something that Lin Xian could compare to. The two people's strength collided, then pulled away from each other. At the same time, they looked at Lin Xian, who was standing not far away. Chapter 11:22. Duan Lingxiao's first reaction when he saw Lin Xian was to furrow his brows. As far as he knew, Morong Yu wouldn't have any contact with any other man. Aside from him, there were some opportunities for him to spar with her. He wasn't sure about the others, but this Lin Xian, he naturally knew about Lin Xian. When the martial arts academy spread the news that Lin Xian and Morong Yu seemed to have a good relationship, he started paying attention to Lin Xian. Especially when Lin Xian was challenged by thousands of people and Morong Yu actually took the initiative to go to his peak 108 to watch. This made Duan Lingxiao pay attention to this person. And today, he actually appeared on Morong Yu's peak, which made him pay more attention to Lin Xian. This person, what made him worthy of Morong Yu's special treatment? He and Morong Yu had known each other for a long time, and he could only be alone with her under the pretext of sparring. What was he doing here? Could it be that he was here to spar with Morong Yu? No, he wasn't worthy. In the entire martial arts academy, he felt that there were no more than 20 people who were worthy of sparring with Morong Yu. And there were no more than 5 people who could fight with her. Why are you here now? Morong Yu saw Lin Xian, then put away the sword in her hand and slowly walked down the stage. Oh, I came early because I had nothing to do. You guys continue fighting, did I disturb you? I'll go to the side first. No need, I'm not fighting anymore. Morong Yu shook her head slightly and said. At this moment, Duan Lingxiao put away his sword and walked down from Lin Xian with a smile. Lin Xian, right? I've heard of you, Duan Lingxiao. Then, Duan Lingxiao smiled and reached out his hand to Lin Xian. Lin Xian reached out and shook his hand. I've also heard of you, the young master of the trial union. It's an honor to meet you, Lin Xian said with a smile. May I know why young Master Lin is here? Duan Lingxiao asked with a smile. Oh, the class monitor invited me over for a meal, Lin Xian said with a smile. Morong Yu? Alright, Lin Xian was right. He helped her a lot, so she had to treat him to a meal. Moreover, Lin Xian could not tell her his real purpose. But, when Duan Lingxiao heard Lin Xian, he was very upset. What? Morong Yu was inviting Lin Xian? How was that possible? What was the relationship was the relationship? Why? Duan Lingxiao was not an irrational person. He knew that there was a reason, but he was upset that he did not know the reason. He knew that it was impossible for Morong Yu to like Lin Xian. He was sure of that, but if another man was able to do something that he could not do, he would be very upset. I see. Then, as if he had suddenly thought of something, he looked at Morong Yu and said, Morong-yu, we've known each other for quite a few years now, right? I've never eaten with you before. He purposely said this in a joking tone. Morong-yu had always refused before, but in this kind of situation, it was not good for her to refuse again. Let's wait for another time. Not today. Duan Lingxiao asked with a smile. Today, I have some other things to discuss with Lin Xian. Alright, then I will personally invite you later. Since you are here, Lin Xian, you can chat. I will leave first. Duan Lingxiao then picked up the clothes beside him and walked away. But when he turned his back to them, his eyes flickered with a trace of darkness. Lin Xian, you better not touch this young master's woman, he said gloomily in his heart. Morong-yu had always been his woman. He felt that in this world, only a woman like Morong-yu was worthy of him. Reality proved that Morong-yu had kept herself pure all these years, and he liked this woman more and more. But now, someone had suddenly appeared, and he seemed to have a good relationship with Morong-yu. This was not a big deal. The main thing was that in these years, there had never been such a situation. Lin Xian was the only one. So he was especially concerned. In his eyes, Lin Xian's appearance, talent, strength, and background were absolutely no match for him. Therefore, it was even more impossible for Morong-yu to take a fancy to Lin Xian. However, it just so happened that Lin Xian and Morong-yu seemed to have a pretty good relationship. Lin Xian knew that there must be a reason behind it, but he didn't know why. He must find out. You said you would treat me to a meal, Lin Xian said to Morong-yu with a smile. Then, he sat on the stone bench and poured himself a cup of tea. The food you cook is better, or I can eat what you cook, Morong-yu said. That won't do. What I cook is what I cook, and what you cook is what you cook. The meaning is different. Also, the food you cook is delicious. Morong-yu nodded slightly. Alright, but let's finish the important things first. Sure. Then, Lin Xian took off his jacket. Morong-yu, why are you taking off your clothes? Did he misunderstand what she meant by important? No, don't you have to take off your clothes too? Lin Xian asked. Morong-yu, you're thinking too much. I'm talking about the 1,000 ice pupils. Morong-yu said. Yes, it's about the 1,000 ice pupils. But I told you before that the 6th level requires very little clothing. I also have to wear very little. So, I took off my clothes. What's wrong? Am I overthinking things or are you overthinking things? Lin Xian's lips curled as he looked at Morong-yu. Morong-yu, her face was slightly red. It was very, very light, but Lin Xian saw it clearly. It's nothing. Morong-yu shook her head. Of course, she remembered. But she thought that she was the only one who wore less. So, when Lin Xian took off his clothes and looked like a playboy, she couldn't help but think in that direction. I'm going to change. Morong-yu awkwardly tidied her hair and turned to leave. Lin Xian held back his laughter. This girl was really interesting. After a while, Morong-yu walked out in her pajamas. Lin Xian had seen her in her pajamas before. It was also because of this experience that Morong-yu didn't seem so shy. Moreover, she was a woman who didn't get emotional easily. Can we start? Morong-yu asked Lin Xian. Yes, but no one will come up here, right? No, I've already closed the teleportation formation. Okay, then let's start. Lin Xian nodded. They didn't go to places like rooms because the cold and fire energy would surge later. If they went too close to the house, they might destroy it. So, they just went straight to the empty garden. Lin Xian and Morong-yu sat facing each other. Chapter 11:23. When Lin Xian sat down, he didn't have any intention of taking advantage of Morong-yu. This process was rather dangerous and required serious attention. He couldn't afford to be distracted. Later, you will use your cold energy and release it with your 1,000 ice eyes. I will release my fire energy. When the time comes, don't resist and absorb my fire energy. Morong Yu then asked Lin Xian, ice and fire are incompatible. I don't have the fire attribute, so I will absorb. It's incompatible. That's why I told you not to resist the fire attribute. You will naturally understand in a while. Lin Xian said. Okay. Morong Yu trusted Lin Xian. Although it was publicly known that ice and fire were incompatible, and she also felt that it was too mysterious, she chose to believe Lin Xian's words. This was because Lin Xian had indeed helped her reach the 5th level of the 1,000 Ice Eyes. The advancement of the 1,000 Ice Eyes was very difficult, mainly because it was difficult to figure out the method, but he knew. The two closed their eyes and sat facing each other. Then, their hands touched. This was the first time Lin Xian had touched Morong Yu's hand. How should he put it? He felt that the hands of these beautiful girls were soft. Morong Yu was naturally the same. Perhaps it was because she was beautiful. Anyway, he had an inexplicable feeling that made him want to hold her hand. However, Lin Xian really didn't have such thoughts right now. The two of them released the power of ice and fire, slowly blending, slowly blending. After about 3 hours, Lin Xian opened his eyes and let go of her hand. Then, he slowly stood up and gently walked to the side. His forehead was full of sweat and his face was a little pale. It wasn't a big problem, just a loss of spiritual energy. He would be fine after some rest. Lin Xian was the one giving, while Morong Yu was the one taking. Therefore, Morong Yu's condition was very good. Moreover, she was very talented. Lin Xian only needed to guide her a little, and she would be fine. Lin Xian looked at Morong Yu and muttered to himself, when the 1,000 ice pupils reaches the 6th level, it will undergo another qualitative change. I don't think there is anyone in the entire martial arts academy who can defeat her. Even if they are in the same realm, I don't think they can defeat her. The main thing was that she wasn't only strong in the 1,000 ice pupils. She was strong in everything, including her personal strength, attributes, martial arts, and so on. Coupled with the 1,000 ice pupils, she was like a tiger that had grown wings. If this girl reached an extreme realm, such as Ling Long Shui's realm, there wouldn't be anyone in the same realm who could defeat her. She had time and space as well as the 1,000 ice pupils. What kind of power could defeat her in the same realm? There was, and that was a warrior or a member of the Goblin clan who had a deeper understanding of a powerful attribute than her. However, there were very few of them. Oh, okay. I'll go cook. Lin Xian stretched and walked into the kitchen. Morong Yu estimated that she would need at least an hour to finish her cultivation. Lin Xian would be able to cook in an hour. He didn't know if she had already prepared the ingredients, or if she had already planned to treat Lin Xian to a meal. There were plenty of ingredients in the kitchen anyway. About an hour later, a terrifying cold energy suddenly erupted from outside. Lin Xian walked out of the kitchen with a cucumber in his mouth. He leaned against the wall and looked outside. Everything within Lin Xian's line of sight was frozen. The power of frost assailed Lin Xian as well. However, Lin Xian was no weakling. He released a fire-type power to defend himself. After about 10 minutes, Morong Yu opened her beautiful eyes. Her sky-blue eyes shone brightly. Then, she revealed a pleasantly surprised expression. She had reached the 6th level of the 1,000 ice pupils. She had really reached the 6th level. She felt a little unreal. Then, she looked around for Lin Xian. Seeing him leaning against the kitchen door and eating a cucumber while looking at her, Morong Yu quickly got up and walked towards Lin Xian. Thank you. I've already reached the 6th level of the 1,000 Sealing Ice Eyes. Morong Yu looked at Lin Xian gratefully. She had originally planned to reach the 5th level in 5 years and reach the 6th level in 10 to 20 years. Then, reaching the 6th level in a month was a pleasant surprise. Of course, she was very, very grateful to Lin Xian. Although reaching the 6th level is already very heaven-defying, especially for someone your age, I don't know how to advance further. You'll have to figure it out yourself. I can't help you. Morong Yu nodded. I'm already very grateful. Then don't you have any gratitude? Lin Xian smiled and looked at Morong Yu. Morong Yu lowered her head and thought for a while. Then, she said, I don't know how to thank you. If you need me in the future, feel free to look for me. Okay. Morong Yu was a little special. Similar to Ling Long Shui, Han Chushue was also the same. However, Han Chushue had something special that made it easier for Lin Xian to pursue her. Ling Long Shui was the same. Morong Yu didn't have that. Therefore, he had to take it slow. The good news now was that he really did have special feelings for Morong Yu. And Morong Yu's feelings for Lin Xian were not low. Let's eat. It's almost done. Lin Xian said. Didn't you say I'll do it? I have nothing to do. Sigh, where can you find a good man like me? You have to cherish me. Lin Xian smiled at Morong Yu. Morong Yu didn't say anything. The two of them went to the kitchen. Morong Yu really liked Lin Xian's cooking. She felt that although Lin Xian couldn't compare to top geniuses like Duan Lingxiao, he was more outstanding than anyone else. At least he knew a lot of things that others didn't know. He was amazing. In any case, she admired Lin Xian. It was admiration, not admiration. Duan Lingxiao's was admiration. Lin Xian's was admiration. Alright, what mission did you choose? Morong Yu suddenly thought and asked Lin Xian. What about you? Toxic desperation. Morong Yu said. Lin Xian. What a coincidence. Me too. Lin Xian grinned at her. Morong Yu looked at Lin Xian. She wasn't surprised, but, you should be in the domain realm, right? And Lin Xian nodded. The ranks of the demonic beasts in the toxic desperation weren't low. One had to be at least in the domain realm to enter. Otherwise, not only would they not be of any help, it would be very dangerous. And the final opponent was the Empyrean Realm Poison King. To anyone, even Morong Yu, this was a very dangerous and huge challenge. She knew that Lin Xian's realm might not be very high. He might even be a low-star domain realm cultivator. However, she felt that Lin Xian shouldn't be weak. His ability to fight across realms was definitely not weak. Since he made his choice, he must have confidence in himself. After all, Morong Yu knew that Lin Xian's talent was on the same level as hers. In a sense, it was a godhead talent. He definitely wasn't weak. Chapter 11:24. Morong Yu felt that it would be good to do a mission with Lin Xian. This mission requires us to kill a heavenly venerable realm monster. I might not be of much help. Lin Xian said to Morong Yu with a smile. If you're really useless, you wouldn't have chosen this mission. Morong Yu ate a mouthful of food and looked at Lin Xian lightly. She was still very smart. Of course, she understood this point. Lin Xian was also looking forward to Morong Yu's match. He'd known her for quite some time now, but he'd never seen her in action. He'd only caught a glimpse of it today, but that wasn't her true strength. However, he'd definitely seen it during this trip to the extreme poison realm. It's true. I thought that you guys, the most powerful ones, would definitely choose this mission. I just followed behind you guys. Anyway, as long as the team mission is completed, everyone will get the same reward. Lin Xian said with a smile. Morong Yu naturally didn't believe Lin Xian's nonsense. Why is your cooking so delicious? Morong Yu still didn't let go of this point. She really couldn't understand. Do you want to know? Morong Yu looked at Lin Xian and nodded. If you're with me, we'll cook together every morning, noon, and night. At that time, you'll know. Lin Xian said with a smile. There are many girls who like you. I'm not the only one. Morong Yu said lightly and then ate her food. How do you know? I can tell. Ling Ying, Han Chushue, and even Xuebing Xin and Wang Xintong are all possible. Lin Xian. Was a woman's intuition really that strong? How can you tell? Why don't I know? It's very simple. The way I look at you and the way I treat you is special. Morong Yu said. Is that a friend? Morong Yu shook her head. I don't know. Think about it. You treat me quite special too. I can eat the food you cook, I can see you in your pajamas, I can even touch your hand, Morongyu. When can you touch my hand? Morongyu asked. Just now. When I was cultivating with you, I touched your hand for 2 hours. Morongyu. Forget it, I don't want to talk to him. A few days later, the first 4,000 students who could accept missions were ready. Lin Xian didn't do much these days. He just wandered around the girls and went back to Lin and City to write songs for them. He saw Linya, Linglong Shui, Dragoni, and so on. It was quite strange. Yi Renbing hadn't looked for him in a long time, so Lin Xian really missed her. Today was the day they set out for the mission. The day before, they had already received the message of whether or not you had successfully accepted the mission. Why did they do this? Because the academy had to ensure the safety of the students. They would carefully look at the missions chosen by each person in the background and weigh the pros and cons. They would see if the mission was too difficult or if the danger to one's life was too great. If it was, they would choose to fail the mission and choose a new one. Lin Xian was much more comfortable in the 80th peak. These days, only a few people from the 80th peak challenged him, and they all failed. Then, he felt much more comfortable. This morning, Lin Xian's phone rang. It was asking him to report to a certain place in the martial arts academy. Everyone who accepted the mission would be there. They were a team mission, so they had to set out together. Lin Xian woke up and washed up. Then, he went to the designated room. In the room, a few people had already arrived. It seemed like Lin Xian was the last one. There were a total of 6 people, and Lin Xian knew all of them. Morongyu, Duan Lingxiao, Zhu Gafeng, Shui Bingxin, Shui Binglan, and Wu Yuhan. To be honest, Lin Xian felt that it was normal to see them. Duan Lingxiao and Zhu Gafeng were ranked 2nd and 3rd. Shui Bingxin and Shui Binglan were also in the domain realm. Although they purposely did not go to the backyard, the academy might know their strength. As for why the 2 girls chose this mission, after learning from Ling Ying that Lin Xian chose this mission, they chose it too. As for why, it was probably more to ensure Lin Xian's safety. Yi Renbing sent them here to ensure Lin Xian's safety. They were members of the Goblin clan. Although Shui Binglan looked weak, she was not weak at all. As for Wu Yuhan, it was normal for her to choose an extremely challenging mission. However, one mission, including himself, Lin Xian, there were 7 people and 4 girls. These 4 girls were more or less related to him. This was difficult. Thinking about it, it was normal for people who participated in this mission to know each other. After all, they were definitely top-notch experts. However, when Duan Lingxiao saw Lin Xian enter, he was more surprised. He was not too surprised that Shui Bingxin and Shui Binglan entered because he felt that Shui Bingxin was not weak. As for Shui Binglan, she was her younger sister. Naturally, she would not be weak either. However, Lin Xian, to be honest, he always thought that Lin Xian would not be too weak. However, he could not be too strong, right? However, it was different now. Everyone knew that the academy would select students for this mission. If the academy felt that you did not have the ability to do this mission, then the academy would filter you out. However, Lin Xian actually appeared in this mission. What did that mean? It meant that in the eyes of the academy, Lin Xian was qualified to do this mission. Therefore, it also meant that this Lin Xian was definitely not simple. Lin Xian glanced at them and then at Wu Yuhan. Which Wu Yuhan was it today? Then, Lin Xian looked at her eyes. Alright, it was that cold Wu Yuhan. Hello. Lin Xian then smiled and greeted everyone. Young Master Lin, I didn't expect you to also choose this mission. Duan Lingxiao acted as if he was very familiar with Lin Xian and said to Lin Xian with a smile. Yes, I heard from class monitor Morongyu that she was in this mission, so I also chose it. Morongyu? Hey, don't talk nonsense. Although she did not care, it was obviously not the case. Oh, why? Zhu Gafeng asked with a smile. He was also interested in Lin Xian. Originally, Lin Xian was a famous contestant in the academy. Now that he was qualified to do this mission, He also felt that Lin Xian was not simple, so he was quite curious about him. Because the class monitor is strong. I want to follow the class monitor. Lin Xian grinned. Ha ha ha, you're not weak either. Zhuge Feng laughed. No, 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 I'm very weak. I'm really weak. I hope that everyone won't blame me if I drag everyone down. Everyone laughed. Very weak. If you're very weak, why would the Academy allow you to participate in this mission? Pretentious. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan glanced at Lin Xian and did not look at him again. It was not that they did not want to look at him. After all, their relationship was not ordinary. They were just afraid that if they looked at him too much, it would arouse suspicion. Lin Xian then moved between the two of them. Chapter 11:25. Why did the two of you accept this mission? Lin Xian asked. In the martial arts academy, it was no secret that Lin Xian seemed to have a good relationship with the campus belles. To be honest, Duan Lingxiao was quite envious. Although he liked Murongyu the most, all men liked pretty girls. To train myself, Xue Bingxin said. Take care of me. Xue Bingxin was speechless. She nodded lightly and did not say anything. Hello. Lin Xian then waved at Wu Yuhan. Wu Yuhan turned her head to the side. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose awkwardly. Young Master Lin, it seems like not all girls like you. Ha ha ha. Zhuge Feng laughed. That's for sure. However, I think most girls still like me. Am I right, class monitor? Murongyu was speechless. Why did he suddenly mention her? Yes. She nodded lightly. Duan Lingxiao frowned slightly. What did this Lin Xian mean? Could it be that he was also interested in Murongyu? Why did he always appear at the places she appeared? He even had to follow Murongyu for a mission? He even had to mention her in some conversations. He hoped that Lin Xian would not embarrass himself. At this moment, Vice President Luo Xiu walked in with a few instructors and glanced at them. Of course, only the president and vice president knew about Lin Xian's uniqueness. Therefore, they would definitely agree to let Lin Xian participate in such a mission. Not bad. You're all here. Luo Xiu then nodded. Vice President, I beg you to change the rules. I've been appearing in the Martial Arts Academy every day. A group of people surround me and want to challenge me. It's so hard for me. Lin Xian put on an aggrieved expression. Although he had reached the 80th peak and those people could not casually challenge Lin Xian, he still could not refuse to appear in the Martial Arts Academy. Although defeating Lin Xian would not give him the right to enter the backyard, he would be able to obtain Lin Xian's ranking on the Lin Xian badge. Then why aren't there so many challengers? Luo Xiu asked. I have to find the reason from myself. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Of course, the academy was aware of this. They also knew that Lin Xian was collecting money to compete in the tournament. However, this was a matter where one party was willing to pay and the other party was willing to accept, so they didn't care. On the contrary, when the dean heard this news, he couldn't help but laugh out loud. He was beginning to like Lin Xian more and more. This Lin Xian was surrounded by too many beautiful women, so it was normal for him to become the target of public criticism. So those people are jealous of my handsomeness. Lin Xian then said with a very reasonable expression. Pfft. Xue Binglan couldn't help but laugh out loud. Then, when she realized that she had lost her composure, she quickly stopped laughing and looked to the side with her big eyes. What are you laughing at? Am I wrong? Lin Xian rolled his eyes at her. Yes, yes. Xue Binglan hurriedly said. All right, stop fooling around. Let's get down to business. Luo Xiu interrupted Lin Xian. Then, Luo Xiu slowly paced around. The instructor beside him turned on the big screen, and on the big screen were some videos of the Desperate Poison Territory. The 7 of you are going to the Desperate Poison Territory. This Desperate Poison Territory is one of the most difficult missions of all. In my opinion, it is the most difficult. Apart from the difficulty of dealing with the heavenly venerable realm Poison King, the entire desperate poison territory is filled with poison. Anything you see, as long as it exists there, is poisonous. Therefore, you have to constantly resist the power of poison. Once you are poisoned, you will be in great danger in that place. Luo Xiu paused for a moment and then continued, "Who has fought with a heavenly venerable before?" Then, apart from Lin Xian, everyone raised their hands. Lin Xian, was it that awkward? He had fought with a heavenly venerable before, right? However, he definitely couldn't win. It was all solved by the big shots around him. It was either Ling Longyue or Murong Qing. The few of them glanced at Lin Xian. Lin Xian coughed dryly. The big shots are awesome. Everyone, it's normal for a domain realm cultivator not to fight with a heavenly venerable. Lin Xian, you have to be extra careful. Lin Xian nodded. Then, Luo Xiu said, "In the desperate poison territory, we have checked now. There are about 3, maybe even 5 poison kings." Then, he pointed at the map of the desperate poison territory on the screen and said, "There is one in this area, there is one in this area, here, here, here." They looked at the screen carefully and roughly remembered the location. Demonic beasts have territorial awareness. Basically, they will be in that area. It's not wrong to be in your own territory, but it's inevitable that there will be special situations. You all need to be flexible. In the entire desperate poison territory, there are many demonic beasts. The area it occupies is about the size of 3 to 4 counties. It's not big, but it's not small either. Normally, it would take more than a day to walk around, but you all might need to stay there for more than 2 days. Every minute and every second is dangerous. There are about 5 poison kings. 4 of them are domain realm, and 1 is a heavenly venerable. I feel that with your strength, it shouldn't be a problem to deal with a domain realm poison king, even if the domain realm poison king is higher than yours. A heavenly venerable poison king is a great challenge. You all have a great risk of dying. The 7 of you need a perfect plan. Alright, there's one more person. He should be here soon. When the time comes, the captain, vice captain, the team, the mission, who will be in charge of the main attack, who will be in charge of cover, who will be in charge of control, and so on. I believe you all understand these by yourselves. You all can solve them yourselves. The more important thing I'm going to talk about next is this heavenly venerable poison king. This is your trial. I won't reveal too much about this poison king because everything can change. If you all work together, there's a great chance that you can defeat him, but there's also a great chance that all 8 of you will die there. Poison is a very important point. Heavenly venerable poison king. In the same realm, demonic beasts are much stronger than humans, but you all are also geniuses who surpass your peers. So, do your best. Luo Xiu then nodded to the teacher beside him. Following that, he gave out things to everyone one by one. I'll give you 1 space crystal per person. If you encounter an extremely dangerous situation, the space crystal can save your life. You must keep it in a place where you won't lose it and can use it immediately. The other one is a detoxification pill. If you enter an extremely poisonous place, you must take it. It will make you immune to most poisons for half a day. Of course, it won't work on poisons from the Poison King level. What I need to tell you is that everything in the world has a counter to each other. In an extremely poisonous place, everything is poisonous, but there must be something that can detoxify it. If you really can't take it, don't force yourself. It doesn't matter if you fail the mission. Your life is the most important. Everyone nodded. Alright, that's all I want to say. You all can come up with a plan. An hour later, the Academy will send you all to the vicinity of the extreme poison realm. I won't disturb you anymore. After saying that, he walked out. Chapter 1126. There were only 7 of them left in the room. If it was an ordinary mission, there would be no need for them to do this. If it was an ordinary mission, the Academy wouldn't have purposely called them over to warn them. However, they were just a few domain realm cultivators dealing with a heavenly venerable realm demonic beast. Moreover, this demonic beast was using poison, and the map was also filled with poison. So they had to be careful. At this time, Xiao Yun walked in from outside. Sorry, something happened, so I came late. Xiao Yun walked in with an apologetic look. So it's young Master Xiao, nice to meet you. Duan Ling Xiao said. Xiao Yun's gaze swept across them and stopped on Lin Xian for a moment. This Lin Xian was also here. Of course, he hated Lin Xian to the core. Since Lin Xian was also here, then there were some things that could be done well in this mission. Nice to meet you. I still need everyone to take care of each other. I've already learned about the extreme poison realm. I just met the Vice Dean, so we can directly make a plan. Xiao Yun said. Then the 8 of us will make a plan together. Duan Ling Xiao glanced at everyone and said. Lin Xian snatched a lollipop from Xue Binglan and ate it happily. First, the problem of the captain and vice captain. Duan Ling Xiao said. The captain's strength must be the best, and at the same time, he must have great commanding ability. I recommend Morong Yu. Zhuge Feng said. Recommend. Lin Xian then said, I heard that in addition to being strong, the class leader is also proficient in commanding troops. Moreover, he is in the military class and has the heart to command an army in the future. He is suitable to be the captain. Naturally, he must have commanding ability, right? Morong Yu being the captain was what everyone wanted. The main thing was that Lin Xian had to recommend her. If Duan Ling Xiao or Xiao Yun were to be the captain, Lin Xian would be in danger. Under normal circumstances, a team like theirs would absolutely obey the captain's orders. No problem. They nodded. Duan Ling Xiao originally wanted to try to be the captain, but after Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng said that, he naturally had no chance. All right then. Morong Yu was not pretentious at all. She felt that this was also an opportunity to train herself. Then I'll leave the rest to class rep Morong Yu, Lin Xian said with a smile. Morong Yu then said, the vice captain can be handed over to Duan Ling Xiao or Zhuge Feng. Their strength shouldn't be a problem. As for Xiao Yun, I'm not familiar with him. If you want to try, you can tell me. Xiao Yun shook his head. No need. Zhuge Feng also said, leave it to young Master Duan. I don't like to waste my time. Good. Vice Captain, I won't be pretentious. Duan Ling Xiao nodded. For the next team we have 8 people, so we need 2 or 3 vanguards. My close combat ability is not bad, so I can be one of them, Morong Yu said. Duan Ling Xiao said, then leave the second one to me. The third one. Morong Yu looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian shook his head. I can't. Although I have the lightning attribute, but I'm weaker. Then what about you, Xue Bingxin? I can. Xue Bingxin nodded. Alright, next is control. Control requires the control attribute. Ice, Xue Bingxin is already the vanguard. Xue Binglan, do you have the ice attribute? Xue Binglan nodded. Yes. Then you'll be the main control. Although everyone can control, you'll be the main control point. Alright. Next is protection. Lin Xian raised his hand. I'll do it. Xiao Yun also said, I'll do it too. I have the space attribute. Alright. Lin Xian also has the space attribute. You two will be in charge of protection. Although they were in charge of protection and control, it didn't mean that they only had to control and protect. They also had to fight. It just meant that during the fight, they had to take care of both. No problem. Lin Xian nodded. Space was indeed the best attribute to protect teammates because it was the most direct. Like water and light, they weren't for protection but for support. Zhuge Feng. Morong Yu glanced at him. I'll be the support. Zhuge Feng smiled. Hey, you're the third-ranked expert. Support. Lin Xian asked. My ability is a little special. I can be used as a support. And don't underestimate the power of a support. Zhuge Feng smiled. Awesome, awesome. Lin Xian clasped his fist. Yuhan, you'll be in charge of killing the last one. Wu Yuhan nodded. Morong Yu did have the talent to be a general. Her decisions were correct and she wasn't indecisive. She and Wu Yuhan were in the same dormitory. She knew some of Wu Yuhan's abilities. Wu Yuhan had the dark attribute. In terms of martial arts or strength, the one that could cause the most explosive damage to a monster was either Lin Xian's purple lightning, the strongest lightning, or Wu Yuhan's killing ability. Her single-target attack ability was terrifying. She could be understood as an agility-type assassin. Alright, that's about it. If there are any problems, we'll solve them on the way. If there are any suggestions, feel free to say them. If there aren't any for now, we'll do it this way. Morongyu said calmly. Alright, Captain. Lin Xian smiled. Morongyu had the urge to roll her eyes at Lin Xian. Then, half an hour to prepare the supplies. We'll usually stay there for 2 days, maybe even longer. Although we don't need to eat, the long battle will exhaust our physical strength. Eating and drinking are necessary, including some spiritual weapons, healing potions, and so on. The academy has them all. Half an hour later, we'll gather here and set off. Yes. Then, everyone dispersed. Lin Xian walked with Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan. One of the sisters was cute and shy easily, while the other was cold but very beautiful. Lin Xian could see their realms. The elder sister was at 6-star domain realm, while the younger sister was at 4-star domain realm. They were very strong. Among the 8 of them, Morongyu, Duan Lingxiao, and Zhuge Feng's realms couldn't be seen by Lin Xian. They were definitely above 6-star. Wu Yuhan was also at 6-star. Hey, what's your boss doing recently? He didn't look for me. Lin Xian asked. If she didn't look for Lin Xian for a week, it wouldn't be a problem. But she was pregnant now. I don't know. We didn't go back. Master didn't look for us either. Don't tell me she doesn't dare to have sex with me now that she's pregnant? Lin Xian stroked his chin and thought to himself. Why don't you ask him yourself? Xue Bingxin said. Lin Xian was too embarrassed to ask her. He knew that, but he had gotten her pregnant. For some reason, he was too embarrassed to talk to her. It's okay. Help me pay for the things I buy later. Xue Bingxin. This man. Why did he take advantage of her like this? Lin Xian expressed that the money she spent was Yi Renbing's anyway. She definitely didn't lack money. He took advantage of her. Chapter 11:27. In the Martial Divinity Institute shop, Lin Xian took out all sorts of things. He bought all sorts of food and drinks, all of which were expensive and branded. He also bought all sorts of healing medicines, spiritual energy recovery medicines, and the like, all of which were of high quality. Do we need to buy more than 200 medicine? Xue Bingxin saw that Lin Xian had emptied a shelf and was in a bad mood. Of course, it's very dangerous. There's no harm in bringing more. Don't tell me you don't have money? Yes. Xue Bingxin nodded and went to pay. How could Yi Renbing lack money? Of course not. Yi Renbing had no concept of money. She was the kind of person who would give you 100 million just to buy a scallion pancake. Xue Bingxin naturally had a lot of money on her. She would take advantage of whatever she could. Sigh, for a good man like me to take care of his family, the girls around him are really lucky. Lin Xian then took out his phone and sent a message to his girls group. Come to the Martial Arts Academy shop, I'll give you some medicine. 5 minutes later, Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, Wang Xintong, and Xiao Xinyue all came over. Come, 30 each. Lin Xian smiled and sent them the medicine. Boss, you're so generous. Ling Ying said with a smile. Of course. Xue Bingxin stood at the side, a little confused. Why did she want to beat him up so badly? She really wanted to. Be careful. Lin Xian said to them. Think about yourself, I'm leaving. After that, they all left. What are you looking at? Lin Xian then looked at Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan. Xue Binglan quickly lowered her head. Nothing. Xue Bingxin shook her head slightly. Be careful when you get there. I don't want anything to happen to you. You should take care of yourself. Shui Bingxin said. Lin Xian, hey, I'm your boss, right? Is this how you talk to me? Lin Xian looked at her with a smile. I'm sorry, Shui Bingxin said. That's more like it. I'll teach you two sisters a lesson when we get back. Lin Xian laughed and walked forward. Sister, he's so bad. Shui Binglong said softly. Yes, very bad. However, it's also quite interesting. Shui Binglong stuck out her tongue. After that, the 8 of them were ready to go. The academy was also ready. The martial arts academy would send them to the extreme poison territory, which was thousands of kilometers away from the martial arts academy. If they didn't send them to the extreme poison territory, they would have to stay in the beast territory for a long time. Moreover, the possibility of encountering unknown dangers was very high. Therefore, the martial arts academy still had to send them to the extreme poison territory. Of course, they wouldn't send them directly to the extreme poison territory. They would drop them off when they were 150 kilometers away and then have them walk to the extreme poison territory. A few hours later, they arrived 100 kilometers away from the extreme poison territory. We will send you here, and the rest will be up to you. Pay attention to your safety and cooperate well. This is not a small challenge for you. I hope to receive good news from you. Luo Xiu said to the 8 of them. Luo Xiu said to the 8 of them. Luo Xiu, yes. All right, let's go. Then, Lin Xian and the 8 of them walked into the distance. This was an experience. If there was no danger to one's life, if a cultivator was allowed to stay in their own comfort zone, then it would not be called an experience. Only battles like this, where one hovered on the edge of death, could greatly enhance a cultivator's abilities in all aspects. Everyone, report your cultivation realm. Morongyu said as she walked forward. The cultivation realm of each cultivator was actually a secret. However, in this situation, it was necessary to know everyone's cultivation realm. For example, when facing a beast territory, one had to know their cultivation realm and whether or not they could handle a certain task. If they couldn't, it might disrupt the plan. I'll go first. 8 stars domain realm. Morongyu said. I'm 7 stars domain realm. Duan Lingxiao said. Same here. Zhuge Feng said. 6 stars domain realm. Wu Yuhan said. Me too. I'm 4 stars domain realm. Xiao Yun said. This group of people was really abnormal. Everyone's cultivation realm was above his. I'm also 4 stars domain realm. Shui Binglong said. Then, they glanced at Lin Xian. 1 star domain realm. Everyone, to be honest, they originally guessed that Lin Xian was hiding his strength. Since he could participate in this mission and with the approval of the Academy, he should be at least 3 or 4 stars domain realm. Why was he only 1 star domain realm? Young Master Lin, you can't hide this. Otherwise, it might lead to serious consequences. Duan Lingxiao said to Lin Xian. I'm not hiding it. I'm indeed 1 star. That's strange. 1 star can participate in this mission too? Xiao Yun said. Obviously, he was purposely squeezing Lin Xian. I thought so too. I just wanted to give it a try and chose this mission. Who knew that I would enter? That's why I said you guys have to protect me. Lin Xian shrugged. It's fine. Since young Master Lin can participate in this mission despite being at 1 star domain realm, young Master Lin must have some outstanding points. The Academy believes in your strength, so do I. Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian and smiled. All right. Brother Zhuge, you have good foresight. When the time comes, I'll focus on protecting you. Lin Xian grinned at Zhuge Feng. Ha ha ha. They hurried forward. After about an hour, they arrived at a plain. After passing through this plain, they would arrive at the extreme poison despair. There seems to be a group of demonic beasts ahead. They looked ahead. It was quite far away, and they couldn't see clearly what kind of demonic beasts they were. However, there might be more than 20 of them. They weren't sure if it was dangerous or not. The group of demonic beasts also saw them from afar. They could vaguely see these demonic beasts slowly standing up. It was either a warning stance or an attack stance. "Captain, should we go around or fight?" Duan Lingxiao asked. "It's best to go around them. If we don't reach the extreme poison despair, any consumption is unnecessary." "But it seems like they don't want us to go around them." Lin Xian twisted his neck. The group of demonic beasts was gradually approaching them. These demonic beasts seemed to be very smart. When they came over, they spread out to prevent Lin Xian and the others from escaping. They gradually closed in and surrounded them. "It's the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf," Morong Yu said warily. The Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf was one of the more famous demonic beasts on the continent. They lived in packs, had extremely strong combat abilities, and were extremely fast. Their bloodline wasn't low either. Usually, an adult Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf had the strength of the Law Realm. Naturally, this group of demonic beasts were all in the Law Realm. Otherwise, they wouldn't have seen a group of people coming over. Their first reaction was to welcome them. They were confident, and the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf was very smart. Fortunately, it was daytime now. Chapter 11:28. Lin Xian looked at the group of Silver Moon Wolves helplessly. F***CK. This young master has never seen a group of Law Realm beasts before, but they seem to be used to it. Wow. I'm so noob. If it was night time, these Silver Moon Wolves would cause them quite a bit of pressure. There might not be any casualties, but they would definitely lose a lot of spiritual power and stamina. But it was daytime now. As members of the monster race, it was not a big deal for Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan to attack the monster race. The monster race was different from the human race. The monster race was similar to how humans looked at other monster race members. 10 seconds. Morong Yu said indifferently. Lin Xian scratched his head. They were strong, but these were all Law Realm beasts. Killing more than 20 of them in 10 seconds was a bit abnormal, right? But in the next moment, Lin Xian roughly understood what Morong Yu meant. All right. Then, Lin Xian released his spatial power. The spatial power of a domain realm beast was naturally not something these Law Realm beasts could withstand. In an instant, all the Silver Moon Wolves were gathered in one place by Lin Xian. At the same time, Morong Yu's cold power erupted, and the terrifying cold power froze all the Silver Moon Wolves. Hey, let's leave some experience for them. Lin Xian was only a 1-star domain realm cultivator. After saying that, he rushed forward and released his 5 thunder constellation. Boom! Then, Lin Xian walked back. Awesome! Killing 7 or 8 of them. 10 seconds. Probably not even 10 seconds. This spatial attribute is really domineering. Zhuge Feng could not help but praise. That's one of the strongest laws after all. Although it's mainly functional, it's not something ordinary laws can compare to. Duan Lingxiao said. Lin Xian didn't have the same so-called magnanimity as them. He just wanted to level up and kill demonic beasts. Awesome. I feel like I might be able to level up by 2 or 3 stars this time. Lin Xian walked over with a smile. After all, this was the domain realm. It was very difficult to level up by 1 star. That's possible. Duan Lingxiao nodded. Young Master Duan won't steal my kill, right? You're already a 7-star Grand Dominion Realm cultivator, so I don't think you'll be interested in low-level monsters, right? And young Master Xiao? Lin Xian grinned. What the hell? How could this guy be so shameless? How could he have the nerve to say such words? However, Morong Yu was here, and their cultivation levels were indeed much higher than Lin Xian's. According to common sense, they could refuse, but Morong Yu was here, so the best way was to nod. That's only natural. Young Master Lin's cultivation level isn't high, and demonic beasts of this level won't be of much help to us. Naturally, if it can belong to young Master Lin, then it belongs to young Master Lin. Duan Lingxiao said. Although Xiao Yun did not want to, he still nodded. Thank you very much. When my cultivation level increases a little, I will be able to help you even more. Lin Xian said with a smile. Let's go. Let's talk after we enter the extreme poison realm. Then, the group continued forward. Soon, they arrived at the Toxic Despair. The Toxic Despair was a forest, a poisonous forest. If you stood outside, you could clearly see green poisonous creatures shrouding the entire poisonous despair. Every tree in the poisonous despair was grotesquely shaped. These trees and plants had all lived here for a long time and gradually mutated. They gradually formed antibodies, absorbed the poison, and became extremely poisonous. To be honest, this scene was really difficult for people to dare to enter. The poison in the Toxic Despair grows stronger the deeper you go. Similarly, the deeper you go, the more poisonous the demonic beasts you encounter will be. With your spiritual energy, you can temporarily resist the poison in the periphery. The antidote pill has a time limit, so don't take it first. Murong Yu said. Everyone nodded. After entering, there are 2 missions. One is to find the 5 great poison kings and kill them one by one. We'll leave the heavenly venerable poison king for last. The other is to find the antidote spirit medicine. Regarding the antidote spirit medicine, who knows? Murong Yu looked at the others. Finally, there's something the class leader doesn't know. Lin Xian smiled. Murong Yu tidied the hair in front of her forehead and said, I know a little, but I'm not sure. I know a little. Xue Bingxin said. Good. When we enter, Xue Bingxin, pay special attention. Xue Bingxin nodded. In fact, Lin Xian also knew. With the imperial physician saint technique in his mind, he should know more than Xue Bingxin, but he didn't say it. He would tell them when they met. Let's go in. Then, the 8 of them walked into the Toxic Despair together. The moment they stepped in, everyone frowned. The poison was rushing at them. Every breath they took was poisonous, and they were constantly inhaling it. However, because the poison wasn't strong enough, they could use their spiritual energy to neutralize it. However, this process would constantly consume one's energy and spiritual power. Therefore, some of the restrictions on them were relatively large. Lin Xian tried to absorb it, but to his surprise, he was completely immune to the poison. At least for now. He didn't need to consume any spiritual energy. The poison is so strong. Wu Yuhan frowned slightly. She accidentally touched a leaf, and that piece of clothing was corroded. The poison of every creature here is much stronger than in the air. That's why the Academy made us wear special shoes. Try to be careful. Now, head south. That's where the first Poison King is. We'll enter its territory in an hour. Advance according to the formation. Okay. Then, they headed south one after another. Hey, I suddenly thought of a question. Lin Xian said. What is it? Murong Yu asked as she walked forward. I remember that the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf Clan is an elite demon clan belonging to the Demon God Temple, right? Murong Yu pondered for a moment. Yes, I participated in the city defense battle before. Coincidentally, one of the factions I faced was the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf Clan. The Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf Clan's combat strength is very strong. Because their combat strength can be doubled at night, they were once a weapon of the Demon God Temple. Young Master Lin, what do you mean? Lin Xian walked forward and said, I'm just worried that we'll encounter a small group of Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf Clan here. Does that mean that this place is where the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf Clan of the Demon God Temple lives? If that's the case, we might even be attacked by the Demon God Temple. This location didn't seem to be under Yi Ranbing's jurisdiction. As for whether it was Xie Qiuyi, Lin Xian didn't know. After all, this place was more than 1,000 kilometers away from Lin and city. Moreover, it was in a very remote location. I think there's no need to worry. Xiao Yun then said, the Demon God Temple won't attack us for less than 10 humans. Moreover, how can we attract their attention? How far is this place from the Demon God Temple? There's no need to worry. We just have to do what's in front of us. Chapter 11:29. Although what Lin Xian said could be a form of danger, it was true that after everyone thought about it, the possibility of such a thing happening was simply too small. Just be careful. Morong Yu said. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose and said. Why was he so sensitive? He had been targeted by Xie Qiuyi before. Yes, the people here might not be worth the monster god temple's attention, but he might be. Therefore, Lin Xian was always worried that he would attract Lin Xian's attention after leaving the martial arts academy and coming to this place. That was why Lin Xian was worried. But after thinking about it, he didn't think that would happen. Yi Renbing had done something last time. However, what he was afraid of had happened. Your Honor, Lin Xian left the martial arts academy and went to the place of extreme poison. In the 9th monster god temple, a person knelt in front of Xie Qiuyi. Oh. Xie Qiuyi stood up and paced slowly. He really wanted to attack Lin Xian, but he was afraid of Yi Renbing. Last time, Yi Renbing had come to tell him in person, so he didn't dare to attack him. Forget it. Yi Renbing is very strong. If we attack him, she will know. Besides, Lin Xian must have something that can save his life. Xie Qiuyi shook his head. But according to our intelligence, several top geniuses of the human clan are going to the place of extreme poison, including the daughter of the Master of the Divine Palace, the son of the Master of the Trial Union, and several other top geniuses. In the future, they will be a great threat to the Monster Clan. Oh. The Martial Arts Academy is one step behind. Hearing this, Xie Qiuyi raised his eyebrows. You, go to the place of extreme poison and take care of the others. Leave Lin Xian alone. Anyway, Yi Renbing only protects Lin Xian. She has no right to protect the others. Xie Qiuyi sneered. Yes. Right, leave 1 or 2 or 3 people alive. Remember, don't attack Lin Xian. They will suspect that Lin Xian is colluding with the Monster Clan. When the time comes... I understand. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others had just encountered a group of poisonous forest scorpions. Of their realms, but they were very strong. These monsters were not much of a threat to them. There's a swamp in front. About half an hour later, they stopped in front of a swamp. This swamp was so big that you couldn't tell how far away it was. This made the space attribute useless. If you sent them over and they were still on top of the swamp, then it would be dangerous. A normal swamp would not be a problem for them. However, the poison in this swamp was so terrifying that it was unimaginable. After so many years of gathering here, how many highly toxic things had entered this place? How many highly toxic leaves had fallen here? The poison in this place must be the strongest they had encountered so far. And there should be demonic beasts inside. This should be the location of the Poison King. If I'm not wrong, the Poison King should be in this swamp. Morong Yu stared at the swamp and said, This swamp is the most poisonous place we've encountered so far. Duan Lingxiao said, then tore a piece of cloth and threw it into the swamp. This piece of cloth floated on top of the swamp. Then, it turned into green smoke and was directly corroded. This King poison was a little scary. With their realms, even if they had spiritual protection, they probably wouldn't be able to withstand it. It should be. Such a poisonous place must be the location of the extremely strong Poison King. And since the Poison King had not shown himself, they could only force him out. Let me do it. Wu Yuhan took 2 steps forward. Then, a dagger appeared in her hand. She threw the dagger directly into the swamp. In the next moment, the entire swamp flickered with a black light. Boom, in the next moment, it was as if a missile had exploded in the swamp. The entire ground shook. Lin Xian, F***CK. This dagger was amazing. This dagger is specially made, right? Lin Xian asked Wu Yuhan. In response, she turned her face to the side. Lin Xian, it's coming. Retreat. Morong Yu said with a frown. Soon after, everyone took out their spiritual artifacts and retreated into a formation. Lin Xian also took out his light sword, Wan Xie. Roar! A huge monster let out a trembling roar and jumped from the bottom of the swamp to the surface. Their battle could not be in the swamp. It was too dangerous. Therefore, they had to pull the monster to the surface. And this Poison King might have been too confident in himself or was angered. Without any hesitation, he jumped up and roared. Roar, whoosh whoosh whoosh. None of them were to be trifled with. They quickly spread out to the sides, and everything within a few dozen meters in front of them was destroyed by the power it released. It was as if a path had been opened in the forest. One could imagine how terrifying it would be if such power were to fall on them. This demonic beast's body, including its tail, was more than 10 meters long. Its body was brown with blood-red patterns. Its eyes were blood-red. Its overall appearance was that of a huge crocodile. Its sharp teeth made one tremble in fear. Its entire back was filled with sharp spikes. The sword was incomparable, making it impossible to attack. It's the Berserk Blood Crocodile King. They recognized the demonic beast when they saw it. It was undoubtedly the Poison King. The Berserk Blood Crocodile King's strongest points were its strength and defense. If its tail hit you, you would basically be crippled. As for its defense, you would know just by looking at its back. It was indestructible. Other than the Sky Venerable, the rest of the Poison Kings were all at the Domain Realm. Moreover, they were existences with 1 foot in the Sky Venerable realm. Each of them had the ability to fight across realms. But in this environment, facing the Poison King of this level, to be honest, it was difficult to fight one-on-one. Even Morong you would find it difficult. However, it was not impossible. But since there were 8 of them, why did they have to fight one-on-one? The Berserk Blood Crocodile King's weakness is its abdomen. We have to find a way to hit its abdomen to cause any substantial damage. Zhuge Feng said. Let's fight first. This young master does not believe that it is that hard. Thunderous force. Zzz. The tip of Duan Ling Zhao's sword was surrounded by lightning. Lightning flashed and illuminated the forest. Then, with a roar, he jumped up and stabbed at the Berserk Blood Crocodile King with terrifying strength. Roar! The Berserk Blood Crocodile King's speed was not fast. However, it did not need speed. It raised its head and a blood-red energy gushed out from its mouth to resist Duan Ling Zhao's lightning energy. Boom! In the next moment, Duan Ling Zhao jumped back and staggered on the ground. It was indeed very strong. Follow the plan. Begin the battle. Morong Yu said. Yes. So, following which, they all rushed forward. Tai Chi gives birth to 2 forms, rapid attack. Zhuge Feng stepped on the ground slightly. A huge Tai Chi 8 trigrams diagram rotated on the ground and occupied the entire battlefield. At the same time, everyone who rushed over felt their speed and strength increase. Chapter 1130. Lin Xian finally understood why this Zhuge Feng was able to take up such an important role. Normally, a support role would be taken up by someone with the wood or water attribute. He didn't know if there was such an attribute, but he had this kind of special ability. Lin Xian didn't think that he only had this kind of formation. But this formation increased their speed and strength, and it wasn't low at all. Lin Xian really couldn't help but look at him in a higher light. A very special ability. This wasn't an attribute, and it didn't seem to be a martial technique either. And it was instantaneous. Pang pang pang. The 8 of them attacked one after another. It only meant that Lin Xian and the others had to shoulder the responsibility of protecting them. It didn't mean that they weren't important just because they were protected. Every single one of them was important. 5 Lightning Constellation. Boom! Lin Xian's terrifying lightning landed on the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's body, but, sorry, I won't attack anymore. Lin Xian said helplessly. 5 Lightning Constellation. Purple lightning, the strongest offensive attribute. But when it landed on the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's body, it was like scratching an itch. There was no helping it, the difference was too great. Lin Xian was only at the 1-star domain realm, and this demonic beast was at the 10-star domain realm. Furthermore, the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's back defense was too terrifying. It was normal for Lin Xian to scratch an itch. Not to mention Lin Xian, even Murong Yu's terrifying attack couldn't do much damage to the Berserk Blood Crocodile King. Murong Yu's cultivation was close to the Berserk Blood Crocodile King, and her battle strength was definitely not low. It was enough to imagine how strong she was. Shua, a powerful frost energy burst out from Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan's bodies, instantly freezing the Berserk Blood Crocodile King. But in the next instant, the Berserk Blood Crocodile King broke free from the ice. With a roar, a blood-red light burst out. Boom! Everything within 20 meters was shaken by the terrifying power, and dust flew everywhere. Pudong! A few figures staggered to the ground. It's not hard to defeat it, but its defense is too strong. Even with Zhuge Feng's blessing, we can't do any damage to it. Duan Ling Xiao frowned. For any martial artist, what kind of demonic beast did they dislike the most? Agility type. Speed was very powerful. In the world of martial arts, only speed was invincible. This sentence was not groundless. An agility-type demonic beast of the same rank would be more difficult to deal with than a demonic beast that was 2 stars higher than you. The other type was this kind of defense-type demonic beast. What was very exaggerated was that defense-type demonic beasts were basically defense-type demonic beasts that were several stars higher in strength would not be able to shake them, let alone those whose cultivation level was lower. However, there was one advantage. This Berserk Blood Crocodile King did not have a strong defense that covered its entire body. It had a weak spot, and it was a large number of weak spots. But how could he attack its lower body? The simplest method was to use the power of space to move it into the air, allowing them to instantly focus fire below. However, Lin Xian and Xiao Yun were unable to do so, because the difference in their realms was too great. Why don't we just kill him by force? The sword in Duan Lingxiao's hand flashed with blue light. If we can't kill him, you'll be exhausted instead. Murong Yu said. Roar. In the next moment, the Berserk Blood Crocodile King roared, and a blood-red energy gushed out. Shua, an ice wall appeared in front of Murong Yu, blocking the terrifying energy. In the next moment, she quickly retreated, and the ice wall shattered at the same time. I can do it, Zhuge Feng said as he dodged the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's attack. I'll leave it to you. Everyone, prepare to deal a fatal blow. Murong Yu said. Obviously, she trusted Zhuge Feng a lot. She probably had a rough idea of Zhuge Feng's strength. In the next moment, Zhuge Feng's figure suddenly stopped. His hands quickly formed seals, and a golden light cage enveloped the Berserk Blood Crocodile King. Rise! Zhuge Feng yelled. Puff! In the next moment, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and the Berserk Blood Crocodile King was directly sent flying. Now! Everyone gathered their strength and blasted it out in unison. Boom! The power exploded in the sky. Ding! Your realm has increased to 2-star domain realm. Lin Xian. Hearing the system notification, Lin Xian was a little dumbfounded. He was the one who killed it. His luck was too damn good. Among the 7 of them, he was the weakest, and he was the one who killed this demonic beast. Although this demonic beast was strong, they weren't weak either. To be honest, if this was a different type of demonic beast, they would have already worked together to kill it. Even if the demonic beast's realm was higher than theirs, which one of them didn't have the ability to fight across realms? Their joint attack hit the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's weak spot, and it was very normal for it to be killed instantly. Are you okay? Murong Yu walked to Zhuge Feng's side. I'm fine. Zhuge Feng waved his hand and said, It's just a small injury. It's normal for it to be injured by force. It'll be fine until we reach the next Poison King. Duan Lingxiao walked over and said, This kind of defensive demonic beast is indeed troublesome. You have to be more careful when you're injured. Alright, I already said it's just a small injury. Zhuge Feng smiled. Lin Xian came over and gave him a pill. Take this and you'll be fine soon. Zhuge Feng glanced at Lin Xian. Many thanks. Then he took the pill. Then let's take a break and head to the next Poison King's location. This berserk blood crocodile king has a strong poison, but it hasn't had the time to release it. Otherwise, it'll be even more troublesome. After that, other than the Empyrean Realm Poison King, we'll try to kill the rest instantly. To avoid any trouble. Murong Yu said. All right. To be honest, if this was heard by others, they would feel that it was inconceivable. You people who are lower realm than the Poison King actually want to kill it instantly? Is this world crazy? But they did have the ability to do so. Their real opponent was the Empyrean Realm Poison King, and the rest were just a matter of convenience. As long as it wasn't a defensive demonic beast, once it was locked on and controlled, it was normal to kill it instantly. After resting for a while, they walked towards the next Poison King. Brother, what kind of power is that? It's very strange. Lin Xian came to Zhuge Feng's side and asked. Oh, it's just a formation. Formations with different powers and different effects. My ancestors practiced this and passed it down from generation to generation. Zhuge Feng smiled. This kind of power is unique to the Zhuge family in the entire continent. Duan Lingxiao said with some envy. Doesn't that mean that if a person has these formations, it's equivalent to having a full attribute? Xue Bingxin was also slightly surprised. This human had such an ability. Chapter 1131. When Zhuge Feng heard Xue Bingxin's words, he smiled and said, in some sense, I can release metal, wood, water, fire, earth, lightning, wind, and so on. However, how can there be such an exaggerated power in this world? There are pros and cons. Firstly, this isn't elemental power, so it can't be as strong, flexible as elemental power. Secondly, the spiritual energy consumption is even higher than releasing elemental power. It's just that there's no harm in having more skills. Lin Xian was enlightened. However, don't forget that apart from these abilities, Brother Zhuge is also a martial artist. He has his own elemental power, so compared to us, he is stronger. Duan Lingxiao said. To be honest, Lin Xian quite liked this ability and felt that it was very powerful. However, he wasn't envious because he was a man who could use all elemental powers. It should be others who were envious of him. I say, stop flattering me. All of you are stronger than me, yet you're still trying to kill me. Zhuge Feng said helplessly. I'm not wrong, right? Because I'm really not as strong as you, Lin Xian said. The one who shouldn't flatter me the most is you, young Master Lin. Lin Xian. Why? Look, there are so many beautiful girls around you. You have the lowest realm, but the Academy still allowed you to participate in this mission against the Heavenly Venerable Realm Poison King. Shouldn't you be the one who is special in the eyes of the Academy? Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian and said with a smile. When Zhuge Feng said that, the surrounding people were also surprised. Yes, they did have this speculation when they saw Lin Xian participating in this mission. However, they quickly dismissed it. They even felt that there were too few people for this mission and Lin Xian was just there to make up the numbers. One more person, one more force? However, when Zhuge Feng said that, they indeed felt that something was wrong. They were all in the domain realm, and Lin Xian was also in the domain realm. However, they were going to deal with a Heavenly Venerable Realm Poison King. How could a one-star domain realm fight against a Heavenly Venerable? There was no way the Academy would allow a one-star domain realm cultivator to participate in this battle. The weakest was a 4-star domain realm cultivator. It was very easy for a 4-star domain realm cultivator to break through during this battle. Even a 1-star domain realm cultivator wouldn't be able to fight against the Poison King. Could it be because of his spatial attribute? That was impossible. There were more than 10 people in the Martial Arts Academy who knew the space attribute. Therefore, there must be something special about this Lin Xian that even the Martial Arts Academy valued. Although his realm was not high, he would definitely be of help in this mission. Murong Yu was probably the only one who knew the reason. She didn't know much, but she knew that Lin Xian was indeed very powerful. He definitely couldn't look at him with a normal gaze. He had to treat him even more seriously than when he looked at someone like Duan Ling Xiao. I guess I'm just here to make up the numbers, Lin Xian said with a smile. Being too modest means being pretentious. Zhuge Feng smiled. Lin Xian shrugged. Xiao Yun clenched his fists. Since when did he, Xiao Yun, become invisible? Although those girls were also very invisible and basically didn't talk, he was a man. Those girls were the cold type, so it was normal for them to not talk. Morong Yu was the team leader, so she had to talk. Hey! Lin Xian took a few steps back and walked to Wu Yuhan's side. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan's ears twitched, trying to eavesdrop on their conversation. Why did they want to eavesdrop? Because they were curious. I've already apologized to you. Can't you talk to me? Lin Xian said with a grin. Wu Yuhan didn't even glance at Lin Xian and continued walking forward. Then, did you accept my apology or not? At least tell me. Lin Xian said. Although this wasn't a place to pick up girls, it was a rare opportunity for Lin Xian to talk to Wu Yuhan. Wu Yuhan triggered the mission, so Lin Xian still cared about it. Did you accept it? Did you accept it? Shut up, Wu Yuhan said coldly. Then tell me if you accepted it. How could this man be so shameless? How could he be so thick-skinned? I don't blame you anymore, Wu Yuhan said and quickened her pace. Lin Xian smiled and followed. Then I'll treat you to a meal when we get back. No need, Wu Yuhan said coldly. No, I have to treat you to a meal and apologize, right? Shut up. Lin Xian. Alright. I'll just hook up with Wu Yuhan's other personality. Lin Xian was helpless. After about an hour, the poison suddenly increased. We should have entered another area now. The poison here is even stronger. If you can't take it, take the antidote first. Don't save it. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. You won't have any combat power left, Morong Yu said to the people behind her. Okay. Xue Binglan and Xiao Yun took the antidote. Young Master Lin, you're not taking it? Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Xiao Yun stopped taking the antidote. He didn't swallow it. The others were at a higher realm and could withstand it for a while. However, Xue Binglan and Xiao Yun were 4 stars. They probably needed to take it. Lin Xian was a 2-star. He should take it. Lin Xian didn't. Xiao Yun thought of something. Lin Xian was poisonous. It was normal for him to be immune to the poison here. Oh, I have some resistance to poison. Although my realm is lower, I can still withstand it. I don't need it for now, Lin Xian said. This surprised them for a moment. How could he have some resistance to poison? What's going on? They obviously didn't think of the poison attribute. This power was too rare. Normally, some martial artists might not encounter anything related to poison in their lifetime. Of course, the probability was low. Normally, they would encounter poisonous beasts. At this time, Xiao Yun put away the antidote pill. Young Master Xiao, you're not taking it? They looked at Xiao Yun. Xiao Yun felt that he couldn't lose to Lin Xian. If Lin Xian didn't take it, he wouldn't accept it either. Otherwise, wouldn't it be a joke if a 4-star domain realm cultivator took the antidote? He was thinking too much. The others wouldn't laugh at him. Although their realms were high, they could roughly sense the level of poison. It would be best if a 4-star domain realm cultivator took it. No need. I can still hold on for a while. It will save me more time to fight the Heaven Venerable Realm Poison King later. I won't have to worry about anything. Xiao Yun said. Safety first. Moreover, there are antidotes here. We just need to find them. Morong Yu said. It's okay. Let's continue. Xue Binglan blinked her beautiful eyes. She felt that she couldn't withstand the poison anymore. How could this man withstand it? Was he really so powerful? Chapter 1132. Time passed minute by minute. Xiao Yun didn't take the antidote and walked for a long time. As he walked, his lips turned black. He sensed that he was poisoned. No. He couldn't hold on any longer. Then, he quietly swallowed the antidote. What was this called? He wanted to suffer and endure the pain of being poisoned. Why did he have to endure the pain of being poisoned? A lake appeared in front of them. It was very scary. This lake wasn't very big, and the lake water was like stagnant water. The surface of the water was green, and there were countless leaves floating on it. There were also many corpses of demon beasts. Occasionally, bubbles would appear on the surface of the lake. When the bubbles exploded, a green poisonous mist would burst out from within. If I'm not wrong, it should be here. Everyone stopped and stared at the lake. They were all martial artists with high ranks, so they could clearly sense some details. They could clearly sense that there was a poison nearby that was much higher than other places, so this place was definitely not simple. There's a ghost soul blood apple there. It should be right. Lin Xian said. Everyone's gaze landed on a black plant on the lake. Ghost soul blood apple. A highly poisonous plant. Its rank is not low, and it will release a powerful heaven and earth spirit energy and poison at any time. Normally, such a poisonous plant would be fought over by demon beasts, and the one who can obtain it must be a king nearby. So, this is the place where one of the poison kings is. Morong Yu explained to them. Lin Xian couldn't help but admire Morong Yu. He knew this because of the imperial physician saint technique, and Morong Yu purely relied on her large amount of knowledge. Lin Xian felt that Morong Yu was too outstanding in all aspects. He really didn't know how this person could be so strong. Let me lure it out. After Duanling Xiao finished speaking, lightning condensed in his hand and directly blasted towards the ghost soul blood apple. The ghost soul blood apple instantly turned into Su Yu. Although the ghost soul blood tang was strong, it hadn't reached the level where a domain realm expert couldn't destroy it. If it was at that level, then it wasn't something a domain realm poison king could approach or possess. If this thing was strong, then it would belong to an Empyrean realm poison king. Because the Empyrean realm poison king didn't fancy this ghost soul blood apple tree, it was obtained by this poison king. As long as its precious ghost soul blood apple tree was destroyed or attacked, it would definitely appear in anger. However, Lin Xian felt his heart ache. The ghost blood flower might be useless to them, but it was very useful to Lin Xian. It was King ruin just like that. You have so many ways to lure out the poison king, but you have to do it like this. Lin Xian's other purpose in coming here was to see if he could find any rare and powerful poisons. He wanted to see if he could raise his poison attribute. Sure enough, when the ghost soul blood orchid was destroyed, a terrifying force emerged from the bottom of the lake, and then a huge green python drilled out. Seconds. In the next instant, Xue Bingxin's frost power erupted, and Zhuge Feng directly created an ice array. At the same time, Morong Yu also released a powerful frost power. In an instant, the demonic beast was controlled. Although it could only be controlled for a short period of time, it was enough. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In the next instant, everyone rushed over. A dagger appeared in Wu Yuhan's hand, and her figure disappeared. A black light flashed past, and the monster's vital point was directly cut open, revealing a huge mouth. Heavenly thunder slash. Duanling Xiao also roared, and the sword in his hand flashed with lightning as he slashed forward. 10 seconds. No, to be precise, the Poison King had just appeared. Perhaps they didn't even see it clearly before it was killed. Every one of them was very strong, and it was easy for them to fight across realms. In addition, with this kind of cooperation, they could kill the Poison King before it could react and release any demonic skills, or directly make it lose its ability to fight. Lin Xian expressed that he was really here to be a bystander. Along the way, he had killed quite a number of demonic beasts. Because other than the demonic beast king, they had encountered many other demonic beasts, and there were even groups of them. Lin Xian's experience had increased by quite a bit, and he really had a chance to reach Domain Realm 4 stars. However, when facing a big boss of this level, his strength was clearly a little weak. The main thing was that Lin Xian could also cause great damage to this level of existence, so he needed to go all out. However, Lin Xian didn't need to go all out. What was the point of going all out? Snatching experience? It would probably be difficult. Let's follow this method. At least, it should be easier for us to face a heavenly venerable realm Poison King. Xiao Yun said. Let's continue on our way. 2 hours later, the third Poison King was killed. 6 hours later, the fourth Poison King was killed. Ding, your realm has increased to Domain Realm 3 stars. Lin Xian let out a long sigh of relief. He had finally reached Domain Realm 3 stars. It really wasn't easy. After reaching the Domain Realm, increasing one's realm was simply too difficult. The number of demonic beasts he had killed was probably the highest among the 8 of them. Murong Yu and the rest had deliberately left the demonic beasts to Lin Xian because their leveling speed was slower. As for Murong Yu, she felt that Lin Xian's realm needed to increase so that he could unleash greater combat strength. The others had also advanced. Xiao Yun had reached Domain Realm 5 stars, and Wu Yuhan had reached Domain Realm 7 stars. This Wu Yuhan caused Lin Xian to be incomparably shocked. Her combat strength had completely exceeded Lin Xian's expectations. She was simply too strong. She didn't hesitate at all, and every move she made hit the target. The sky was already dark. Fortunately, their realm wasn't low and their night vision was strong in such a forest. However, it also had a huge impact on them as the forest was dark to begin with. Everyone, be careful. Many demonic beasts roam at night. It's even more dangerous now than during the day. And now, there's a very bad news. Duan Ling Xiao looked at everyone and said, the antidote pills effect is about to wear off. Once it's over, if we still haven't found a heaven and earth spirit item that can resist the poison here, this operation might fail. The academy deliberately didn't give them enough antidote pills because this was called training. Even if dealing with heavenly venerable realm demonic beasts was already extremely troublesome and dangerous, the martial arts academy was just that abnormal. You guys rest first. I'll go look for it. Lin Xian said to them. Murong Yu frowned slightly as she looked at Lin Xian. You? Xiao Yun sneered and said, you're going alone? If you die, we won't even know where to find your corpse. Besides, why should we trust you? Wait here for nothing? Wouldn't that be a waste of everyone's time? Murong Yu interrupted Xiao Yun, looked at Lin Xian, and asked, do you know? Lin Xian nodded. I know a little. I should be able to find it. All right, I'll go with you. The rest of you stay here and rest, Murong Yu said. I'll go too, Duan Ling Xiao said. No need. We're not going to fight. We need you to lead the team here, Murong Yu said. Xiao Yun clenched his fist and completely ignored him. Chapter 1133. Lin Xian and Murong Yu left together. Master Xiao, do you have a grudge against Master Lin? After they left, Zhuge Feng smiled and asked Xiao Yun. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan listened carefully. Grudge? How can there be grudges? Even if there is a grudge, I wouldn't bring my personal grudge here. Xiao Yun said. Duan Ling Xiao patted Xiao Yun's shoulder and said, that's a good sentence. We're a team here, we have to leave our backs to each other. So, why didn't Master Xiao trust Master Lin? You even said that we would just wait? Isn't that just distrust? Zhuge Feng smiled. Xiao Yun then explained, this place is so dangerous, and Lin Xian's realm isn't high. If it was anyone else, I wouldn't have a problem. Isn't Brother Zhuge worried? I'm really not worried. Zhuge Feng drank a mouthful of water and said, Lin Xian's realm isn't high, but don't forget, the Martial Arts Academy agreed to let him join this mission, which means that they acknowledge his strength. Plus, he has the space attribute, what's wrong with that? Xiao Yun secretly clenched his fist. That's because I was too one-sided, it's my problem. Xiao Yun then said, all right. Everyone rest, I hope they can find it. Otherwise, We won't be able to last until we find the Poison King, let alone defeat him. Xiao Yun sat there with a ruthless look in his eyes. How can I have a chance to destroy this Lin Xian? Class leader, pay attention to the roots of every tree. See if there are any plants that are also green, but have faint white stars on their leaves. Lin Xian said to Morong Yu. White star grass. Morong Yu asked Lin Xian. No, it's the white spirit poison grass that's similar to the white star grass. Lin Xian said. I know this. Morong Yu nodded. These two types of poisonous herbs are very, very similar. It is very easy to confuse them. During the learning process, you will be specifically taught how to differentiate between these two types of poisonous herbs. Fighting poison with poison? Morong Yu asked. Of course. Do you think there could be any other spiritual herbs here? It can only be a poisonous grass, and we can only fight poison with poison. This is the Academy's test of our survival ability. The poison of the white spirit poisonous grass can neutralize the poison here. How do you know? Morong Yu asked in surprise. This kind of thing would require a lot of experiments to come to a conclusion. Anyway, she had done a little research on this poisonous grass, but she didn't know that it had such an effect. There were quite a few poisonous herbs that had this effect, and there were probably more than 10 types in this place. The Academy probably knew that other poisonous herbs could neutralize this effect, and the reason why they were looking for the white spirit poisonous herb was because there were more of it. Take a guess. Lin Xian grinned at her. Morong Yu secretly shook her head. She believed that some of her knowledge reserves were already very high, but she always had a feeling that she was not as good as Lin Xian. Let's look. Half an hour later, the two of them were holding a handful of white spirit poisonous grass in their hands. Lin Xian directly held it with his bare hands, while Morong Yu released spirit energy from her hands to isolate the poison. You're just holding it with your bare hands? Morong Yu looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Oh. Lin Xian then released spirit energy from his hands. Morong Yu, what do you mean by this? You're holding the poisonous grass without releasing spirit energy, and you're releasing it when I ask you? What does this prove? It proves that he can hold the poisonous grass without releasing spirit energy. This Lin Xian is really mysterious. Morong Yu didn't say much, and then asked, how do we use this? We're still missing a poisonous grass. Only by combining the two can we achieve the effect of neutralizing the poison in the air. Here. Lin Xian pointed to the front. Purple daylily? Lin Xian nodded. The purple daylily had a nice name, but this flower was extremely poisonous. Very, very poisonous. Are you sure this purple daylily can be eaten? Morong Yu still asked. She knew the purple daylily too well. This purple daylily's grade wasn't high, but it was extremely poisonous. It wasn't much worse than the ghost soul bloodgrass they encountered before. A domain realm martial artist wouldn't die from eating it, but they would definitely lose their ability to fight for a long time. What? You don't believe me? Morong Yu shook her head. I believe you, but there's something I don't understand. Yo, class rep, there's something you don't understand. Lin Xian joked. Morong Yu stood there and really wanted to roll her eyes at Lin Xian. Lin Xian then kneaded the two poisonous grasses together according to a certain ratio. The juice dripped onto the ground, and smoke instantly rose up. Do you want to try it first? Lin Xian then handed it to her. Morong Yu took it, glanced at it, and swallowed it. Seems like my position in your heart is quite high. You just swallowed it directly. Lin Xian joked with a smile. Because in my heart, you are very powerful. Your strength might not be certain now, but in other aspects, you are more powerful than anyone I have seen before, including some top-tier experts. Morong Yu didn't hide anything. She was a rather outspoken person. Then, am I qualified to be your boyfriend? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Morong Yu glanced at Lin Xian. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. That won't do. The two chatted as they walked back. As a girl, you have to pass down the legacy. You have to find a boyfriend. Morong Yu didn't say anything. My Lin family's bloodline isn't weak, right? Why don't you, cough cough. Don't think about this. You should leave these words to the other girls around you. Morongyu quickened her pace and walked away. Lin Xian scratched his head. This girl is so hard to get. Don't talk about getting her, I don't even have a chance. Soon, they arrived at the camp. Did you find it? Everyone stood up. Here. Lin Xian threw the needed ones to them one by one. They looked at the things in their hands. What kind of poisonous grass is this? A combination of purple daylily and white spirit poisonous grass, Lin Xian said. Purple daylily? Zhuge Feng frowned. Young Master Lin, are you kidding? This purple daylily is highly poisonous. I've eaten it. It's been more than 10 minutes, and the medicine has begun to take effect. It can neutralize the poison in the air without releasing spiritual power. Morongyu said. Hearing Morongyu's words, they were relieved and ate it one by one. What surprised them was that after eating it, they didn't feel the poison attack from the poisonous grass at all. This is amazing. Could it be that these two kinds of poisonous grass can neutralize each other? Zhuge Feng asked Lin Xian. Yes, everything in the world reinforces and restrains each other. Although white spirit poisonous grass and purple daylily aren't on the same level, they are restraining each other. After they merge, they will be immune to the poison in the air. The medicine's effect will last for about a day. It's enough. Good. Then let's go to where the heavenly venerable Poison King is. Chapter 1134. Under Morongyu's lead, the 8 of them continued to go deeper and deeper into the forest to kill the demonic beasts. What surprised them was that the thing that Lin Xian gave them was really effective. It was much better than the antidote pill. Ahead of them, the poison increased sharply. They didn't know much about this Poison King. Because the Academy wanted to test them, they didn't give them any information. No one knew what kind of demonic beast it was. They could only be flexible and adapt. At this moment, Xiao Yun's aura suddenly exploded. Be careful! Xiao Yun shouted angrily. Then, a spirit weapon appeared in his hand and he slashed at his feet. Then, he jumped back and pulled away. At the same time, Lin Xian and the rest also quickly retreated. What is that? Their eyes were on the ground. Amidst the countless poisonous grasses, a reddish-brown and black vine that resembled a slender, venomous snake slowly retracted. Xiao Yun's ankle had just been entangled by such a vine. Looking carefully, there were many such vines hidden under the poisonous grasses in front of them. The most terrifying thing was that they could actually move. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. This color, this situation. Could it be the Dark Blood Overlord flower? Lin Xian said in shock. It's the Dark Blood Overlord flower. Morongyu said slowly and took a step back. What's the Dark Blood Overlord flower? The others looked at the two of them in confusion. Morongyu then explained, it's a kind of poisonous grass that can be considered one of the top poisonous grasses in the continent. It's on the same level as the deep nether Yama spirit. Aside from its poison, the most terrifying thing about the Dark Blood Overlord flower is that it's a carnivorous plant. Carnivorous? Everyone was shocked. Lin Xian then said, the underworld blood tyrant flower isn't big, but it has a lot of vines. These vines can even extend to a distance of more than 500 meters, and it can sense the tremors of the ground several kilometers around it. Then, it will release a fragrance that attracts demonic beasts, and when the demonic beasts approach, the countless hidden vines will seize the opportunity to bind the demonic beasts. These vines have a poison that isn't inferior to the abyssal Yama spirit. Ordinary demonic beasts will lose their ability to struggle once they are poisoned, and then they will be dragged to the underworld blood tyrant flower. The underworld blood tyrant flower will absorb the demonic beast's blood as its own nourishment, so in a sense, this is a carnivorous plant. Hiss! When they heard Lin Xian's explanation, they were all shocked. If it was a demonic beast, they would feel that it was normal. However, a stalk of poisonous grass could be so terrifying. They had never seen something like this before, so they felt an unfamiliar sense of fear. For anyone, the simplest example would be if you were used to eating roasted grasshoppers, or even scorpions or centipedes, but you had never eaten anything before. Then, you would feel a deep sense of fear. It was the same principle now. They were used to seeing all kinds of powerful demonic beasts, but they had never seen a poisonous grass that could eat people. Naturally, they would feel a sense of horror. This was a very normal psychological phenomenon. As long as this underworld blood tyrant flower is in its adult stage, its poison can even kill heavenly venerables if they are not careful. Morongyu then glanced at Xiaoyun's ankle and said, "Fortunately, your body didn't come into direct contact with the vines, or else it would have pointed to disaster." Xiaoyun also let out a long sigh of relief. But Wu Yuhan took a step forward and said, "Then this underworld blood tyrant flower should be a top-notch poison of heaven and earth. The one who can possess such a top-notch poison of heaven and earth should be the heavenly venerate poison king." Wu Yuhan's words made everyone realize this point. Although this underworld blood tyrant flower seemed to be made into a demonic beast, it was still a poisonous plant after all. To a demonic beast that cultivated poison, this was a supreme treasure. There were definitely benefits to cultivating around such a spiritual treasure. Therefore, Wu Yuhan's words caused everyone to subconsciously draw out their spirit weapons. It made sense. However, there were no clues so far. This is already within the range of the Poison King. Coupled with the existence of this underworld blood tyrant flower, it's very likely that the heavenly venerate Poison King is not far away. Morongyu said cautiously. But if we fight nearby, the heavenly venerate Poison King is already dangerous enough. With the threat of this underworld blood tyrant flower, we can't fight here. It's too dangerous. Duan Lingxiao said. Unless we eliminate the threat of this underworld blood tyrant flower first. Zhuge Feng said. I'll go. Lin Xian said. Everyone looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, I can try. I still have the spatial attribute. At most, I can run out. Why did Lin Xian want to go? The underworld blood tyrant flower might be a good thing for Lin Xian. Lin Xian wanted to see if he could get his hands on the underworld blood tyrant flower. Although it was very dangerous, if he could get his hands on it and absorb it, it would greatly increase Lin Xian's poison power. Is it okay? Morongyu glanced at Lin Xian and asked. I can try. Okay. I'll go with you. Morongyu said. Morongyu had both the spatial and temporal attributes. She also had the ability to come and go safely. Duan Lingxiao frowned. Why was Morongyu always willing to go with Lin Xian? Of course, there was nothing wrong with accompanying him in this situation. Morongyu also had the spatial attribute. However, he always thought too much. No need. I'll go alone. The two of us will be a big target. There's nothing to be afraid of with the spatial attribute. What if something unexpected happens? It's fine. Lin Xian said. Then, okay. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan looked at Lin Xian worriedly. They came here to protect Lin Xian. In order to protect Lin Xian, they were even willing to give up their lives. This was the mission Yi Ranbing gave them. However, to let Lin Xian go alone. Let's go. Be careful. Don't cause any commotion. I'm worried that the Empyrean Poison King will find out. I'll try my best. After Lin Xian finished speaking, he disappeared from where he stood. The underworld blood tyrant flower's vines could extend for about 500 meters. Therefore, they only needed to jump 500 meters to see the underworld blood tyrant flower. When Lin Xian landed, his gaze fell directly on the underworld blood tyrant flower. It was about half a meter long, and its entire body was about the same color as the vines. It was a combination of blood brown and black. At a glance, one could tell that this thing was poisonous and very strange. It was actually very beautiful, but the more beautiful something was, the more dangerous it was. The moment Lin Xian landed, countless hidden and unhidden vines quickly stretched toward Lin Xian. The underworld blood tyrant flower's poison was very strong, but Lin Xian wanted to try to forcibly absorb it. He felt that since he could withstand the power of the abyssal Yama spirit, why couldn't the underworld blood tyrant flower? Moreover, Lin Xian now had the abyssal Yama spirit and the poison attribute. He had a high chance of trying. Whoosh! Following that, Lin Xian forcibly released his poison power. Step by step, he walked over. The vines were all blocked by Lin Xian's poison power. Chapter 1135. After all, this was just a poisonous flower without any intelligence. Why could those vines take the initiative to attack others? It didn't mean that it had developed intelligence to control the vines to attack people or monster beasts. What would happen if it had developed intelligence? It was an unimaginable existence. Even if it was a heaven and earth spirit treasure that had existed for tens of thousands of years, it was definitely not something that a heavenly venerable realm poison king could possess. The reason it attacked was because the underworld blood overlord flower could sense vibrations in the ground within a 500-meter radius. As long as there were vibrations, the vines would instinctively bind the vibrating animals. This was a survival ability that had evolved into such a form, not a form of intelligence. Sure enough, after Lin Xian walked over, the vines approached one after another. However, when they sensed Lin Xian's poison power, they stopped. When Lin Xian stopped, all the vines also stopped. Then, Lin Xian came to the side of the dark blood overlord flower and felt the powerful spirit power and poison power rushing towards him. Lin Xian's face instantly turned purple. Then, Lin Xian forced out the poison power and directly enveloped the dark blood overlord flower. Then, Lin Xian sat down, closed his eyes, and forcibly absorbed the power of the dark blood overlord flower. One was the light green power released by Lin Xian, and the other was the light red power of the dark blood overlord flower. The two powers collided and attacked. Whoever won would win, and whoever lost would die. Lin Xian's skin color constantly changed between black, purple, light green, and normal. His expression became more and more painful because this process would cause unbearable pain all over his body. After all, this was poison. Lin Xian needed to absorb all the poison into his body, then let his body adapt to the poison. Finally, it would gather in the small poison attribute Dantian. 10 minutes later, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The dark blood overlord flower in front of him had already withered. Lin Xian opened his hand, and a light red and light green poison power condensed in his palm. Lin Xian revealed an excited expression. The abyssal Yama spirit had fused with the underworld blood overlord flower's poison. This kind of poison could have many effects, but the main effect was the effect of the two great poisons. The poison directly doubled. Although Lin Xian rarely used the poison attribute, you had to admit that it was powerful. Furthermore, after absorbing the energy, Lin Xian's cultivation had advanced to 3-star Grand Dominion realm. Xue Binglong, who was sitting on the other side, pointed to the front and said, "The vines have withered." Everyone looked over and saw that the color of the vines had already faded, and there was no sign of life at all. "Looks like Lin Xian succeeded," Morong Yu said. At this moment, a terrifying beast roar shook the entire poisonous despair. At the same time, a blood-red light flashed, and a terrifying power erupted in front of them, causing the ground to tremble. Everyone stood up. Not good, this is the power of an Empyrean. At Lin Xian's side. Quick. So, in the next instant, everyone rushed forward. At this time, Lin Xian was about 20 meters away from the monster beast. He had just stood up from the ground, and his eyes were vigilant as he looked at the monster beast. This monster beast was an extremely large poisonous spider. Its entire body was a mixture of blood red and black, and it was a bit similar to the patterns of the underworld blood overlord flower. Its body was over 8 meters long, and it had 6 legs that were extremely sharp. Each leg even had many sickle-like reddish-brown blades. It was clear that if one was struck by these things, it would cause a wound that could cut through the body and cause instant death. Its eyes were blood red, and it had sharp teeth at the sides of its mouth. Disgusting saliva dripped from its mouth. Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign, this was the name of this poisonous spider. It was an extremely powerful existence. Nonsense, if a monster beast wasn't strong, how could it reach the Empyrean realm? This blood shadow poison sovereign had lived for at least 800 years. Shwa, in the next instant, the blood shadow poison sovereign opened its mouth, and a blood-red energy spewed out at Lin Xian at an extremely fast speed. Whoosh, at the same time, a figure rushed in front of Lin Xian. Morong Yu's body erupted with a powerful cold energy. The red energy instantly turned into an icicle that shattered into pieces. Whoosh whoosh, at the same time, one figure after another rushed up to fight with the blood shadow poison sovereign. "Are you all right?" Morong Yu asked Lin Xian. "I'm fine. Stand up and fight." With that, Morong Yu gripped her spirit artifact and rushed forwards. "Everyone, be careful. This is the blood shadow poison sovereign. It's not slow and it's filled with poison. Its body is extremely hard, and its 8 eyes are its weak points. But, you must not get close to it and attack its eyes. It is extremely dangerous." Morong Yu shouted as she rushed forwards. Lin Xian stood up. Wan Xie, who had summoned his heavy sword, also rushed forwards. This blood shadow poison sovereign was a 1 or 2 star heavenly venerable. The Academy would definitely not let the domain realm cultivators deal with a 5 or 6 star heavenly venerable. That would be suicide. The 8 of them stepped onto the battlefield and used all sorts of martial skills. In close combat, most of their attacks were unable to cause too much damage to the blood shadow poison sovereign. However, the blood shadow poison sovereign was not slow. It was a kind of demonic beast that was half agile. Spatial lock. Morong Yu naturally could not hold back against an existence of this level. She forcefully released her spatial energy and locked it down. Spatial lock. Spatial lock. At the same time, Lin Xian and Xiao Yun also released their spatial locks. Full power. ZZ, Lin Xian condensed lightning flash in his hand and threw it straight in. Icebound 1,000 miles. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglon joined their hands. A terrifying cold energy instantly froze the blood shadow poison sovereign. Snowflakes began to fall from the sky. However, the snowflakes turned into smoke as soon as they landed on the ground. 10,000 lightning blast. Zhuge Feng stepped lightly with his right foot. A blue Taiji diagram appeared under the blood shadow poison sovereign. Following that, lightning flashed. Sword of Thunder. Duan Lingxiao's right hand slashed across the sword. The entire sword flashed with blue lightning. Then, a blue lightning sword energy slashed out. Boom! Shadow cage. Wu Yuhan's power erupted as well. A black cage appeared beside the blood shadow poison sovereign and quickly locked him in place. Then, it strangled him. Boom! Dust flew everywhere. The other side trembled. The 8 of them attacked together. Even a heavenly venerable realm poison sovereign would not have an easy time. When the dust slowly dissipated, the blood shadow poison sovereign's giant body gradually appeared in front of them again. "He's fine." Everyone was shocked. The blood shadow poison sovereign's defense is not low. If we want to defeat him, we can only attack his eyes. However, he's done a very good job of protecting his eyes. It'll be very difficult. Morong Yu's brows furrowed tightly. In the next instant, the blood shadow poison sovereign roared and charged at Xue Binglon, who was closest to him. Time deceleration. Morong Yu released time deceleration while Xue Binglon pulled away. Chapter 1136. Eyes. They had to attack the blood shadow poison sovereign's eyes, otherwise they would not be able to cause any substantial damage. It was true that each of them was strong and could fight across realms, but this was still a large realm above them. The strength of an Empyrean was enough to instantly kill any one of them. Facing the blood shadow poison sovereign's attacks, the slightest carelessness could lead to instant death. With the difference in realms and the blood shadow poison sovereign's strong defenses, it was difficult to cause too much damage. But they had the advantage of numbers and a variety of abilities that allowed them to contend with the blood shadow poison sovereign. Morong Yu's figure flickered as she rushed behind the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. She raised her sword and slashed down. In that instant, a cold power burst forth. Now! Duan Lingxiao's thunder surged as he rushed in front of the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. His thunder struck the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's eyes. However, the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's strength was not an exaggeration. A blood-red strength erupted and the two of them were sent flying away. At the same time, Wu Yuhan replaced Duan Lingxiao's position with an unimaginable speed. The spirit artifact in her hand flashed with a red light as it pierced towards the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's eyes. The Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's head nimbly moved and stabbed towards Wu Yuhan. As if she had teleported, her figure disappeared from where she was and landed beside everyone. Whoosh! The next person joined in seamlessly as Xiao Yun rushed forward. At the same time, Zhuge Feng's hands constantly formed seals. All over the battlefield, a myriad of colors flashed. Speed, defense, and strength all increased. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. 10 minutes later, everyone was panting as they stood in various positions, surrounding the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. None of them were injured, but everyone had exhausted a great deal of their strength. Facing a monster beast of this level, they would die if they were careless. Thus, in this battle, they had to be 120% vigilant. In addition, they had to constantly attack and release martial skills. Naturally, they had exhausted a great deal of their strength, but the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign did not consume so much strength. At most, he would be injured, but that kind of injury was nothing to him. Morong Yu, Duan Lingxiao, and even Zhuge Feng had all used their heaven-tier martial skills, but they were unable to cause any damage to the Poison King. It was not that the heaven-tier martial skills were not strong, but it was because the Poison King had a higher cultivation level than himself. In addition, the Poison King's defense was not weak. When he released a heaven-tier martial skill, he would also release a surge of energy. He could easily resist the power of the heaven-tier martial skill. Therefore, there was only one way to defeat it, and that was to injure its vitals with great force. If the vitals were not damaged, all the attacks would be in vain. Buzz buzz buzz, Blood Shadow Blightzar shrieked. Blood-red poisonous fog spread out from its body. They could be immune to the poison in the air here, but it was impossible for them to be immune to the poison of an Empyrean Realm Poison King. Once the poison dispersed, they would have no choice but to leave the battlefield. There was no way they could fight Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign within the poison fog. Leave it to me. Zhuge Feng rushed to the front and formed a seal with his hands. Then, all the poisonous fog was blown upward by a sudden wind. Captain, we have to find a way to hit its eyes. Otherwise, we'll all be exhausted to death. Duan Lingxiao wiped the sweat from his forehead and said, "The difference between the Empyrean Realm and the Domain Realm was too great. A 1-star Empyrean could casually beat up 10 stars Domain Realm martial artists. They even had deity-tier martial skills, but they could not use them. Why? First, they were not sure if a deity-tier martial skill could kill Blood Shadow Blightzar. Although a deity-tier martial skill was heaven-defying, it was still used by a Domain Realm martial artist to attack an Empyrean Realm demonic beast. The strength of an Empyrean Realm demonic beast was not an exaggeration. Moreover, what if it missed? Second, once they used a deity-tier martial skill, they would lose all their combat ability. Their spiritual power would be directly depleted. Therefore, a deity-tier martial skill was a battle of life or death. In this kind of situation, they absolutely could not use a deity-tier martial skill without being sure. Morong Yu had thought of many methods, but none of them could hit its vitals. Because the difference in cultivation realm was too great, she could not do anything to it. Moreover, this Blood Shadow Blightzar was very good at protecting its eyes. Bang bang bang! They continued to charge at Blood Shadow Blightzar. At the same time, they were thinking of a way to deal with it. If it really doesn't work, I'll try using a deity-tier martial skill. Morong Yu's sword slashed through the air and landed on the ground. Lin Xian used the spatial attribute to send Xuebingxin, who was fighting a demonic beast, to his side and said, "No, if you use a deity-tier martial skill, you will lose your combat ability. If it doesn't work, we will lose a general. This is the only way at the moment. Morongyu frowned as she stared at the Empyrean Realm Poison King and said, "Puff." At this time, Xiao Yun was careless and was hit by the Blood Shadow Blixar's power. He immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. Careful! A few of them rushed forward. Xiao Yun clutched his chest and landed on the ground. F***CK. Why was he injured? He was too careless. During the battle, he even listened to their conversation, causing him to not even have time to use the spatial attribute. "You go and heal first," Duan Ling Xiao said to Xiao Yun. "I'll leave it to you guys." Xiao Yun retreated to the back. Originally, it shouldn't have been this difficult. Any normal Empyrean Realm Poison King would have been killed by them. However, this Blood Shadow Blixar's defense was very strong. Facing a demonic beast with such a strong defense, what could they do when their cultivation was so much higher? Lin Xian, use as little of your martial skills as possible. Save your spirit energy and use your spatial energy to protect everyone. No problem. Lin Xian nodded. Other than Lin Xian, the rest of you, buy me 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, Lin Xian, send everyone away. Morongyu said. Alright. Lin Xian nodded. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Then, the remaining 6 people rushed up and released all kinds of martial skills to attract the Blood Shadow Blixar's attention. After Morongyu pushed to a certain distance, her delicate body erupted with a terrifying aura. The aura became stronger and stronger, stronger and stronger. It was so strong that the sword in her hand was trembling. Her clothes and hair fluttered in the wind. The dust under her feet was swept up and the surrounding leaves were dancing. She was accumulating power. The power of this attack was definitely not an ordinary divine rank martial skill. However, they had no choice but to release this power now. Thousand Sealing Ice Pupils was useless against this kind of gap in cultivation. Lin Xian glanced at it. He didn't know if this move was enough. After 20 seconds, Morongyu's beautiful eyes suddenly opened and a ray of light shot out. Tribulation of 10,000 lightning. She leaped and pointed the sword in her hand to the sky. The lightning in the void fell onto the tip of her sword. Ha! A power that seemed to be able to split the ground slashed towards the Blood Shadow Blixar. At the same time, Lin Xian released his spatial attribute and brought everyone to a safe place. Chapter 1137. The moment Lin Xian landed, he once again released his spatial attribute and headed towards where Morongyu was. He needed to go over. The power of this move was incomparably terrifying. Even if Morongyu was very strong, she would probably be drained of her spirit energy. And if something unexpected happened, such as the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign not dying, then wouldn't Morongyu die? Duan Lingxiao was just about to say that he wanted to go with Lin Xian, but Lin Xian had already disappeared from his spot. Lin Xian landed on the previous battlefield. At this moment, the battlefield was filled with dust and was very quiet. Lin Xian searched for Morongyu's figure in the dust. However, at this moment, Lin Xian heard some movement. Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison. Lin Xian did not hesitate to release the Heaven Tier martial skill that Linglong Shui gave him, Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison. The demonic beast did not die and still made a sound. However, it sounded a little weak, so this Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison was definitely fatal. A gravitational force similar to a black hole formed, sucking in all the dust and stones. At the same time, Lin Xian saw Morongyu. Whoosh, with a spatial jump, Lin Xian came to Morongyu's side. "Are you okay?" Lin Xian helped her up. "I'm fine. It's just that my spirit energy is depleted." Morongyu shook her head. "I didn't expect this kind of power to not be able to kill it instantly. Fortunately, this is a team mission. Otherwise, it would be impossible to win." Morongyu said. If it was a solo mission, she would definitely die in this situation. Unless she did not fight and directly used her spatial attribute to escape, this kind of power could not kill it. If her spirit energy was depleted, Wouldn't she die if there was no one else? Is it done? Morong Yu asked. Lin Xian took a look. The dust dispersed and the demonic beast was sucked into the myriad induction heavenly prison. It kept struggling, but how could it escape with its heavy injuries? I'm hanging up. Then, Lin Xian's aura surged. 4 stars domain realm. From this, one could see just how difficult it was to advance to the domain realm. Only with the experience of the heavenly venerate realm and the many demonic beasts he had killed, did Lin Xian manage to advance to the 4-star domain realm. It had to be said that in this experience, Morong Yu had improved the most, and Lin Xian had gained the most. In any case, it was not a loss. What kind of martial skill is this? Morong Yu frowned as she looked at the myriad temptations heavenly prison. This was actually a spatial attribute martial skill. She had never seen a spatial attribute martial skill in her entire life in the temple. The spatial attribute could release any kind of spatial energy, but it was unable to create a martial skill. And what Lin Xian released was actually a spatial attribute martial skill. This exceeded Morong Yu's understanding. Wasn't it said that spatial and temporal attributes couldn't create martial skills? In theory, spatial and temporal attributes could also create martial skills, but because the difficulty was too great, it hadn't been created for so many years. So, in reality, there were no spatial and temporal martial skills. But Lin Xian released it. How could Morong Yu not be shocked? Ordinary people or geniuses couldn't create such a martial skill, but who was Linglong Shui? The Void Fox. There wasn't a single race in the continent that dared to claim that their understanding of space surpassed that of the Void Fox. This was an undeniable fact. Therefore, it was normal for Linglong Shui to be able to create a spatial martial technique. Lin Xian scratched his head. Spatial. Morong Yu. It was indeed a spatial martial skill. As a spatial attribute martial artist, she felt that the power was opening up a special space and sucking it in. It was like a black hole. Creating a black hole with human strength, it was a little absurd, but it happened right in front of her. You created it? Morong Yu asked in disbelief. That's definitely not it. She heaved a sigh of relief. That was still explainable. Then she recovered a little and said, It's time to go back. The mission was completed, so it was time to go back. Let's go. Do you need me to support you? No need. Morong Yu shook her head and walked over with Lin Xian. Are you all right? They all ran over. I'm fine. The mission is completed. We should leave the extreme poison territory as soon as possible. All right. Then, they started on their way back. A few hours later, they left the extreme poison territory. The outside air is still the most comfortable. Shui Binglan took a deep breath of air. Everyone else did the same subconsciously. Even their breathing became more cautious. Xiao Yun's injuries were no longer a problem. As long as he didn't continue fighting, he would be fine after resting for a while. Xiao Yun refused to accept it. He was really unhappy. The others were more or less injured, but that was not called an injury. He was the only one out of the 8 of them who was injured. Moreover, he was of the spatial attribute. Wouldn't he lose face if this were to spread out? But what could he do? On this trip, everyone got something. Duan Lingxiao and Morong Yu didn't advance because their realms were too high. Shui Binglan and Shui Bingxin also didn't advance because they were of the demon race. Everyone else advanced. Lin Xian advanced to 4-star domain realm and even absorbed the underworld blood overlord flower. The one who gained the most from this trip was probably Lin Xian. After the mission was completed, everyone was happy. Wu Yuhan also had a slightly relaxed expression on her face. When we go back, I want to eat a lot of delicious food. Shui Binglan said excitedly. Lin Xian smiled. Then, do you want to eat the delicious food I give you? Yes. Shui Binglan nodded. Suddenly, she thought of something. Could it be? Okay, then I'll give it to you and your sister when we go back. Lin Xian smiled. Shui Bingxin probably guessed something and didn't say anything. Xue Binglan's pretty face was bright red. Bad guy. Morongyu, was that a divine-level martial skill you used at the end? Duan Lingxiao asked. Yes. So, that demonic beast was directly killed by you? No. Morongyu shook her head. What? A divine-level martial skill didn't kill it? Fortunately, we didn't directly use it at that time. Otherwise, it would be dangerous, Duan Lingxiao said. It's not dangerous. There's also Lin Xian and Xiao Yun's spatial attributes. At most, we'll run away first. But it doesn't matter. The mission is completed, Zhuge Feng said. How should I put it? I don't feel like I have a good sense of presence. Even if we killed the Heaven Venerable Realm Poison King, I don't feel like we did much. In the end, it was Morongyu's shocking attack, Zhuge Feng continued to say helplessly. Everyone felt that there was nothing wrong with his words. Everyone felt that they didn't do much. They just killed a lot of small monsters, although these small monsters were also in the Law Realm and Domain Realm. Morongyu explained, teamwork is all about teamwork. In order to complete a difficult mission, everyone's teamwork has been pretty good in the previous battles. This is what we've improved. Individual trials have their own benefits. At this moment, everyone stopped in their tracks. Chapter 1138. This was the demonic beast territory, and it was very far away from human living areas. It was more than 1,000 kilometers away. To be honest, it was impossible to see other humans at such a distance. Normal warriors could not come to this place. There might be some stronger ones, but to meet them was like looking for a needle in a haystack. But in front of them, a person was leaning against a tree with his head lowered, as if waiting for them. Swish, 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 everyone subconsciously took out their own spirit weapons. They had a very bad feeling about this. Who are you? Duan Lingxiao pointed at the person in front of him with his spiritual weapon. You have some strength to be able to come out of this poisonous land alive. I thought you would die in there. Saves me the trouble. The old man raised his head and revealed a bloodthirsty smile. Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat. F***CK. As expected. He had sensed danger, and it still came. Who was this person? At least it was not someone who was neither male nor female like the 9th Fey God Temple. Therefore, Lin Xian could not accurately determine if they were from the 9th Fey God Temple. But it was obvious that he was here to kill them. As for whether he was here to kill Lin Xian or everyone, Lin Xian was only one of them. Lin Xian could not tell. Hearing this person's words, everyone stood together. This person is very strong. It's not convenient to fight. Retreat first. After Morongyu finished speaking, he released a powerful spatial barrier, causing everyone to disappear from where they stood. In the next moment, they did not know where they appeared. Anyway, they had already left that place. Who is that person? Why does he want to kill us? Xiao Yun asked with a frown. He's a Fey. Xue Bingxin said. Because she was a Fey, she could tell that his aura was not that of a human. It was very difficult for humans to sense auras. Fey. Could it be the Fey God Temple? Zhuge Feng frowned. Because they were members of the Martial Arts Academy, they were destined to fight against the Monster God Temple and the Monster Tribe in the future. They were a great force for the human tribe in the future. Therefore, it was a good opportunity for the Monster God Temple to kill them before they grew up. If they were in the Demon God Temple's shoes, they would have done the same. However, they were puzzled as to how the Demon God Temple knew about their plan. Even knowing where they were going. Did he know that there would be people doing missions today? It was impossible to say that there were spies of the Monster God Temple around the Martial Arts Academy, because the Martial Arts Academy was under strict surveillance. Even if a demonic beast appeared, the Martial Arts Academy would notice it, unless there were people from the Monster God Temple in the Martial Arts Academy. They were not stupid. When they guessed that the person might be from the Demon God Temple, they thought of this point. Trying to run? Just when they thought they were safe, the old man's voice suddenly appeared not far away from them. Everyone's pupils constricted. This person was not someone they could fight against. Since he took the initiative to find them, he must have absolute confidence in killing them. Of course, he knew that they had killed the Poison King in the Heavenly Master Realm. Therefore, this person was either at the high level of the Heavenly Master Realm or at the Great Void Realm. Morong Yu's spiritual power was exhausted. Following that, Lin Xian released his own spatial energy and disappeared with them once again. This is not good. He should also have the space attribute, and we are too far away. After landing, Lin Xian said with a frown. It was more than 1,000 kilometers away. They could not use the space attribute to cover that distance. Humph. Still want to run? The old man appeared again. Lin Xian also had a headache. The worst thing was that Yi Renbing had taken back the bead that she had given him. She said she wanted to improve it. However, the bead that Linglong Shui gave him was only enough for him to escape. The others could not escape. How could Lin Xian leave them behind? Lin Xian did not care about those men. They were not even friends. However, what about Morong Yu and the others? Then let's fight. Morong Yu's beautiful eyes flashed with determination. Everyone revealed an unwilling expression. Go! Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Facing such a top powerhouse, they had to take the initiative. If they lost the initiative, they would really lose it. However, the old man only released his aura. Everyone spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground. Except for Lin Xian. Great Void Realm. When they felt this power, they despaired. If it was the Heavenly Master Realm, they might still be able to fight, but the Great Void Realm. 5 Thunder Celestial Phenomenon. Boom! Lin Xian rushed over. Thunder surged and blasted on his body. However, it was blocked by his faint power. Then, he waved his hand and Lin Xian fell to the ground. A bunch of trash. You want to fight against the demons? The old man released his power again. Boom! Everyone flew into the distance again. Puff, however, Lin Xian stood there without moving. Cough, 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 why? They propped themselves up with their elbows and looked at the scene in front of them. What was going on? Why did the old man only attack them? Why didn't he attack Lin Xian? Could it be that Lin Xian? He naturally would not attack Lin Xian. There were 2 reasons. First, attacking Lin Xian would incur the wrath of Yi Renbing. He could not afford to offend her. However, Yi Renbing had clearly said that if something happened to Lin Xian, she did not care how Lin Xian got into trouble. She was sure that it was Xie Qiuyi from the 9th Demon God's Temple. Therefore, he could not attack Lin Xian, not even hurt him. Second, this was a good thing. Why? If he were to attack everyone but not Lin Xian, what would the others think of it? They would think that Lin Xian was on his side. In that case, although he did not attack Lin Xian's reputation among the humans would be tarnished. This was also their plan. Therefore, when the time came, he would not touch Lin Xian at all. As for the others, he would deliberately injure one of them but not kill him so that he could spread the news to the human race. Clearly, in the eyes of the others, apart from Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglong, the suspicion was there some relationship between Lin Xian and the old man? Otherwise, why did he not attack Lin Xian? Morong Yu did not believe it, but this scene forced her to think so. Lin Xian stood there. He had probably thought of this. Was he doing it on purpose? You're not going to kill me? Lin Xian looked at the old man and asked. Puffed. The old man sneered and did not answer. Sometimes, it was not good to give too many answers. All right, I got it. Lin Xian took out his phone. Since you're not going to kill me, aren't you afraid that I'll call for reinforcements? He roughly knew that this was someone from the 9th Demon God's Temple. Chapter 1139. The others watched from afar. They were really doubtful, but they were all injured and could only look forward. Ha ha ha, the old man laughed out loud. Do you know where this is? In this position, your human cell phone is nothing more than something that can emit light. What else can it do other than emit light? Do you think you can contact others? Your martial arts academy's spatial crystals are useless. Don't even think about it. The old man looked at Xiao Yun, who was about to use the crystal to escape, and sneered. In his eyes, at this distance, it was impossible for his strength to undergo any more changes. He had everything under control. Lin Xian took out his cell phone and sent a message to Linglong Shui right in front of him. The old man only thought that Lin Xian was just pretending. What was there to pretend about? Wife, ask for help. Don't forget what Lin Xian had on him. The signal duplication receiver invented by Miao Xiaomiao. This thing hadn't been popularized yet, so the shifters wouldn't know about its existence. Lin Xian had it with him. At this distance, he could send a message to Linglong Shui. I'm telling you, you're finished. You're in big trouble. Lin Xian pointed at the old man. The old man sneered. Suddenly, his pupils constricted violently because he felt a terrifying force coming from behind him. Why did Lin Xian ask Linglong Shui to come and not Yi Renbing? Because Linglong Shui had a spatial crystal. She could sense it immediately. Although Yi Renbing was strong, she might not be. Linglong Shui stood in the air. Lin Xian looked at her, touched. Wow. Luckily, he had these girls by his side. Otherwise, he would really be dead. Who are you? The old man felt the terrifying aura coming from Linglong Shui's body and was terrified. Because Linglong Shui was quite tall, the people below could not see her face clearly. Linglong Shui didn't say a word. She waved her hand, and a space appeared behind the old man. In the next instant, the old man screamed as he was sucked in. The surroundings were silent. Linglong Shui glanced at Lin Xian but didn't say anything. After all, there were other people here. When everyone saw this scene, they were all shocked, but they also let out a long sigh of relief. They then sat up and began to heal their injuries. Lin Xian walked over to Murong Yu. Give me your hand. Lin Xian said to Murong Yu. Murong Yu looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Then, she reached out her hand, and Lin Xian held her small white hand. Duan Lingxiao looked at this scene with a frown. In the next instant, Murong Yu was shocked to feel her injuries recovering quickly. Then, Lin Xian released the law of creation and healed Shui Bingxin and Shui Binglan's injuries. Healing power. Murong Yu was puzzled. However, she didn't feel any water or light elemental energy being released. She really didn't understand. Hand. Lin Xian said to Wu Yuhan. Wu Yuhan opened her beautiful eyes and ignored Lin Xian. Lin Xian shrugged helplessly. Then, he forcefully held her hand. He didn't have to hold hands with the law of creation, but why didn't he seize such a good opportunity to take advantage of her? Wu Yuhan wanted to flip out, but when she felt her injuries recovering, she roughly understood. Thank you. She said faintly. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Then, he sat down to recover his spiritual energy. For a moment, everyone was silent. It wasn't that Lin Xian didn't want to heal the men. These women were all his women, so he had to take good care of them. Among the men, only Zhuge Feng was more to Lin Xian's liking. However, his spiritual energy was empty, so he could only leave it at that. After about an hour, everyone opened their eyes one after another. Lin Xian, what's going on? Duan Lingxiao opened his eyes and looked at Lin Xian. He frowned and asked. What's going on? Lin Xian asked. You need to explain to me why the Demon God Temple's expert only killed us and not you. He didn't even injure you. Xiao Yun stood up as well. He finally found an opportunity. This time he was going to destroy Lin Xian. That's right. I have reason to suspect that you, Lin Xian, are in cahoots with the demon race. You have to give us an explanation. Xiao Yun said. Shui Bingxin and Shui Binglan were actually quite flustered because they knew that Lin Xian did indeed have a special relationship with their demon race. However, they were also very angry. These people were really disgusting. Was that all they cared about? Did they not think about who saved them? Lin Xian shrugged. Explanation. Does it count as an explanation if I saved you? Lin Xian's words made them speechless. Yes, although I was also suspicious at that time. Why didn't the demon race expert attack Lin Xian? I even suspected that Lin Xian was in cahoots with the demon race to get rid of us. However, Lin Xian saved us, so I dispelled this suspicion. If he was really in cahoots with the demon race, why would he save us when we were in a situation of certain death? Zhuge Feng said. Yes, I think so too. So, I'm only suspicious. I even suspect that the expert who suddenly appeared was sent by Lin Xian. Xiao Yun gazed at Lin Xian, and then he said, that expert just happened to appear here, and he killed him in passing for some unknown reason and saved us? If she was sent by Lin Xian, then the energy she released just now was obviously from the demon race. She's a demon race expert as well. So, I have no choice but to suspect your identity, Lin Xian. Xiao Yun finally found an opportunity to deal with Lin Xian, and he definitely wouldn't miss it. Demon race? So what? Are all demons our enemies? Lin Xian laughed. After that, Lin Xian continued, if I'm an enemy, if I'm in cahoots with the demon race, then why would I spare your lives? Are you an idiot? Wouldn't it be fine if I just killed all of you? Just say that the mission failed and all of you died. Why would I spare your lives? Why would I spare your lives to tell others? Idiot. Of course, Lin Xian knew that Xiao Yun was deliberately making things difficult for him. You. At this time, Duan Ling Xiao walked over and patted Xiao Yun's shoulder. Then, he looked at Lin Xian and said, Lin Xian is right. Although I do have some suspicions, these can be dispelled. Not all demons are enemies, but, Duan Ling Xiao looked at Lin Xian and said, I will report this matter to the Martial Arts Academy. Because the demon race expert who wanted to kill us didn't have any intention of touching you. She only wanted to kill us, so this made all of us suspicious. Then do as you wish. Lin Xian shrugged. At that moment, Morongyu spoke up, many of the Yao clan's friends are also humans. That expert from before should be Lin Xian's friend, right? Those are two separate matters. Lin Xian did save us. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.